Right. Everybody, we welcome back to Odyssey of the Dragonlords. In the last session, the party comprised of Drakgar, Juno, Metius, Derek, Porunga, and Exandri, plus the addition of Lorius, have dealt a severe blow to the cult of Lutheria. The cultist Trellus and Septia, plus their lackeys, attempted to strike at the party with the purpose of, well, doing something really bad. Either they were going to kill them in the ensuing fight, or even worse, it would be used as sacrifice for whatever foul heretical rituals they were to perform in the service of Lutheria. Regardless, the party managed to defeat them. And with their defeat came a couple of other events. Amongst them, the release of a group of civilians that seemingly were kept chained up in the basement of the Lutheran church. A silence spell was casted to make sure that any cry for help would not reach anyone's ears. However, the party managed to get them out of their chains, realizing that the cult of Lutheria had, in fact, indeed been the ones behind disappearances as of late. Disappearances of people who, if all the information is correct, were not going to be missed by most, if anyone. Perhaps this was their way of getting away with performing their rituals. Regardless, after releasing the prisoners and making their way with some of the valuables that belonged to the cult, the party then decided to take this news to Boreas, a satyr that wanted the Trails and Septi out of the picture, or if not, convinced to perform a certain deal with him. Upon receiving the news, Boreas very quickly let his true colors shine through, seeking that the party realized that he was actually aiming for far more than just getting part of a piece of the pie, so to speak. Boreas clearly made it very clear that his aim was higher, almost bordering on overthrowing King Acastus, or if not, taking over a segment of the land. Upon realizing this, the party decided that maybe it was better to just deal with him. No. What would this mean to the rest of the vineyards in Mitros? We're not quite sure. Perhaps they will go to somebody else. Regardless, the party is now engaged in combat with Boreas and the rest of his satyr posse, as well as a dryad and a water elemental that is sided with him. And with that, we begin as I have the bot play us Boreas's theme song. Oh, wait, what just happened here? Oh no, my computer is tweaking out. Uh,
Unlucky.
okay, it's doing that. Okay, okay. Oh, that's not what it's supposed to do. Oh, it turned it into a different type of setting. Uh, well, that is unfortunate. One moment while I just make sure I get this correct. Uh, there we go.
Oh shit! I didn't. I go. Hold on. I gotta roll for Juno real quick because he didn't roll.
Then we just have bot repeat that song.
Oh, let's go.
Oh,
It's not letting me click. It's not letting me click Juno, but I rolled a 24 for him.
okay. In that case, I'll do initiative. Uh, 24. Where is Juno? He's towards the bottom of
Oh
the
wait,
towards the bottom of the map.
that's
Did
why.
Juno
Never mind. I'm retarded.
did Juno roll hit die for his for you for himself?
No, he didn't. Oh, we did it yesterday?
Well, let's see. I can't find.
Oh, yeah, he got a 15.
Wait, no. Oh wait, no, yeah, no. I was referring to hit die. If he got me hit die for, to heal up.
Oh, roll the hit die? No, I don't remember that.
Well, I mean, I will allow you to at least roll one.
Okay.
All right, so you hit gains max
But
the same ones. All right. Now, with that out of the way, we begin combat with a Drakgar, apparently. You can see
hell
this.
yeah. That one time I actually rolled high on initiative. If it lets me move. I'm gonna rage first. And then I'm gonna run over here. And then I'm gonna shove Boreas to the ground for my first attack.
All right, so
That's
give
a
me an
strength check, right?
athletics check
Or athletics, sorry.
against Boris's own athletics.
Frick. Oh, wait, no, I get advantage, never mind.
Yes, that is a 15 for you. Let's see what is for him.
Let's go.
A 10. He falls prone.
And then
Anything else?
I'm gonna whack at him with my great axe.
22 will hit. All right, decent damage. You see as you kind of rush over to Boreas and kind of tackle him. He kind of falls to the ground, almost hits his head against the sort of stone edge that is at the border of the pond, but manages to avoid that just a little bit. When he tries to stand back up, you rush in and kind of do like a quick gash against his leg. He takes that amount of damage. Uh, it's still looking pretty decent.
And I'll be up.
All right. It is now. Actually, I'll do that. Juno, you're up.
Alright, let's see. I can only move. I thought he had more than 30 movement, but I guess I'll just move right here. And does he have enough range for this? I guess I'll be at a disadvantage, but I'm gonna throw a dart anyways.
All right. Who is it targeting?
The guy in front of him, this guy.
How far away is he? A little bit further than the effective range, so 18. 18, however, still hits. All right, so takes 6 points of damage. Satyr still looking pretty decent. The dart just gonna hit his shoulder as he was trying to reach for his panpipe, seemingly.
And then Juno has 2 attacks at this point, right?
I believe so.
Or is that? I don't remember if focus. Okay, cool. I'll do the same thing again.
Go ahead. 2 more hits. So once again. 4, 8 points of damage. And yeah, he takes those 8 points of damage. So second, kind of tossing 2 darts at the same time. Both shoulder strikes. For a moment, the Satyr's arms kind of spasm as he tries to recover from the strike.
And that'll be it for Juno.
Alright. The dragon. You see this one kind of look over at Boreas, who's on the ground, and she, for those who speak, Sylvan, will hear her say something along the lines of, "Well, I suppose this constitutes." She's gonna look over in that direction where everybody's gathered at. Uh, and let's see what's the size of this. All right. So, as a bonus action, first of all, she is going to be casting Shillelagh. Uh, bonus action. You see her kind of manifest this spark from her hands that turns into kind of like a staff, and then that staff seems to light up with energy as her action. This is a 20-foot square, meaning I'm gonna need
Oh no.
everybody in this square to make me a strength saving throw against Entangle.
This is Exaldry first.
Oh my.
Derek is second.
Oh, let's go.
Double that 20.
So, the DC for this was 40. Meaning that only Derek makes it.
Did Lorius roll?
Oh shit, I forgot Loris, that's true. He has magic resistance, so he has advantage on this. So, well,
Everyone but Derek.
everybody but Derek, you guys see as the dryad with that kind of like glowing staff in her hands. She just kind of slams it down on the ground, and this mass of entangling vines seems to spurt from the direction of the general area where you guys are at. Let's see, 5, 10, 15. This whole square is now, and you are now all restrained. Uh, you're now restrained by entangling plants. While restrained, for those who may have forgotten this condition, restraint means that your movement speed is effectively 0. You have disadvantage on attack rolls, and attack rolls against you have advantage. During your turns, you may attempt to make a strength check as your action to free yourself, or however other means you can think of getting out of the situation. So right now, everybody is restrained there. The triad is going to be concentrating on that spell for the time being. And it's more her. I'm gonna put Rich first. The one.
You're cutting it out a little bit.
Oh, am I? Hello? Am I coming through now?
I can hear you better.
Okay.
Yeah.
The water elemental. Now has two choices here because it can look at Drakgar, and Drakgar seems to be attacking Boreas. But the rest of the party is also looking very, very entangled at the moment. So I'm gonna roll a 1d2. On a 1, he goes to engage with Drakgar. On a 2, he goes to engage with the party.
Please roll that one.
Fight me.
Is it-
Yes, let's go.
You see as the water element kind of seems to adjust its shape to a more slightly vaguely humanoid one. You see 2 arms, a torso, and though it lacks a visible head, it seems to come almost seem to resemble that of a body with arms. The water elemental is going to move in a very flowing fashion towards you. Drakgar. And let's see. Uh, is going to move into a flanking position. Actually, does it have that movement? It does not, but it will move as close as it can to attempt to flank you with Boreas, and is going to use its uh. Let's see.
Did that proc or opportunity or no? Oh, never mind.
Actually, on second thought, the elemental, you see like it's kind of like approaching the dice almost into flank, but it doesn't stop at just standing behind you. It seems to move. It seems to move towards you and kind of engulf you in its watery shape. It is going to move into your space.
Oh,
It is going to move into your space and use its whelm ability. I'm going to need to make me a strength save.
easy. Boom, let's go.
You make it. You see as the water elemental kind of begins to engulf you with its body, and kind of begins to make this whirlpool around you to like smack you around on its inside, basically. Instead, you manage to succeed in a saving throw, and you are, however, you are still pushed out of its square, meaning that you are pushed here. The water elemental kind of looks over at you again. There's an indiscernible way of expressing itself, but you can tell that the water kind of seems to flow in a more agitated fashion, something out of frustration.
Don't worry, your time will come.
Unless the creature is pushed out in space. I'm trying to see if this is a saber path or saber stuff. Larger, smaller, something grapple, restraint, able to breathe, we want to take careful there, or up to. Okay, so no, you would only have taken damage if you actually failed. That's good to know. That's it for the water elemental. It's currently recharging that ability. The state, looking at the ones that are currently restrained, will set their sights on you guys, and you see as he produces a short bow from his back, and he is going to attempt to shoot at one of you who are restrained. Again, this is with advantage. I'm gonna roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna roll 1d5. 1 is Porunga, 2 is Derek, 3 is Sandry, 4 is Metius, 5 is Lords. Metius, this one's heading at you with advantage. So, for 22.
That definitely hit.
For 4 points of damage.
Okay.
With that, the Satyr is actually going to move away from you guys because he doesn't want to be in range of Juno when he just saw throw 2 darts at one of his allies. It's actually going to move. It's actually going to move 10, 20, 25, 30 over here. That is it. Derek.
Derek is laughing hysterically, and he's gonna say something along the lines of, "Who sucks now?" And then he's like, "Look at you guys being stuck." And he's gonna move out of the way.
The space of the entangle is difficult terrain, I believe.
Oh, then he goes back here. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, only like one. I think would only have affected him like one space.
So that was 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, no, I was right. I can
Effectively,
still move.
well, here would be 20, 25, 30. This would be the extent of it.
And then he's going to pull out his loot, and he's going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on the two. Can I cast this at a higher level? Is that a thing?
Check
No.
spell.
I don't think I can.
You can put this spell in the chat. We can see.
I did.
Oh, I didn't scroll down. No. It seems this one cannot be upcast.
Okay, so instead, he will cast. Let me just make sure this is not a charmed effect. Alright, he's gonna cast Dissonant Whispers at level 2.
On who?
On the one closest to him. So right here. This guy.
That guy over here. Alright, that Satyr is going to make a wisdom saving throw. It has magic resistance, so it has advantage against spells and magic effects. So we'll see. Still fails.
Fails.
Uh,
So he 13.
Takes 13 points of psychic damage. Still alive, but you see him kind of begin to bleed from his nose. You see him kind of like keel over a little bit. One of his hands clutching his head. I'll get you later. And in whispers, he has to move away from her.
And then Cassie needs to check to see if he still has Bardic Inspiration, guys. 1 second. Oh, he does. Okay. And then he is going to inspire Porunga to get out of. No, he'll inspire. Yeah, he'll inspire Porunga to get out of the grasp of the vines. And he'll be like, "You got this, bro."
I'll try.
All right.
And then that'll be his turn.
The other thing, the one that just got targeted by Derek. On his turn, he is not gonna like that. Let me do. Oh, actually, I have to double check something important about this. Okay, no. She actually. Alright. So, this is going to look over at the ones that are still entangled. Rather, no. He's gonna get back at Derek. I'm gonna shoot the one at Derek. So here we go. Short bow. Missing completely with a natural one. The arrow just flies way off. Perhaps due to him being a little bit weakened. He is then gonna move further away. 10, 20, 25, 30. This Satyr over here is gonna aim at the ones that are in the restraints. 1d4. Same numbers as before, it's just Loris is now number 4. Examine is going to look at you and take a shot. 23.
That hit.
Give it a moment to throw damage. Oh, I can roll it twice. But 5 points of damage, example.
Nice.
It is then going to move 5, 10, 20 feet right here. They're kind of spreading out at this point. Sandra, it is your turn.
So I can use a spell from here. If it's an attack spell, it's at a disadvantage.
Correct. Yeah, you can use you can still cast spells. Being restrained does not prevent you from casting spells. It's just if it involves an attack roll, it's not at disadvantage.
Okay. Let me look here. All right, so the one that just ran away, that Pumo hurt,
Mhm.
I'm going to pull out my bell and I'm going to start ringing it back and forth, and nobody can hear the noise in the bell. So I'm going to try to use Toll the Bell on the one that's running away.
This one over here on the far right.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, again, it has magic resistance, so it will roll advantage.
I am. I'm about to see the distance.
Oh, my bad. I mean, oof. If you are within distance, then you would.
I am.
What's the range of Total Dead? 60 feet?
60 feet.
Right, so he's
Oh, just enough.
so 12. He fails and he is hurt, so he takes the D12. So.
All right, and I'm doing it non-lethally. I'm trying to give him a migraine and make him like pass out.
All right.
Roll D12. Just kidding. Just 1 damage.
It's 2d over this level because you're level 5.
What was that?
You're level 5, so the damage of Toll of the Dead increases. So it's 2d12 instead of 1d12.
Oh. 2 damage.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Takes 2 whole points of damage.
Oh, snap.
Still up.
I was just curious if my shit was broken. Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. In that case, Metius, go ahead.
All right. Let's see.
Ouch.
How do I move this around again? Can I?
Oh, that's just.
Is that going to? That's not going to hit Drakgar, right?
That won't hit Drakgar. It'll hit the Satyr, and the Moral.
Okay.
I don't think you can non-lethal this one, but damn.
Did we?
I mean,
this is
like a movie.
this is Matteo. Like, did we fucking talk about that?
So again, I do for the players and those who may be watching on YouTube. I do house rule that spells can have non-lethal takedowns. It's just a matter of how do you justify using it non-lethally. In this particular case, I'll throw you a bone and say we can make it like one of those movie explosions that don't actually incinerate people, but just kind of push them away and like make them like fall backwards.
The heat just knocks him out.
I just don't remember if we we just sort of got into a fight, right? I don't think we really super said, "Hey, we're definitely non-lethally doing this."
My character definitely said take him captive to turn him in to make
Okay,
the prince,
that's right.
the king of Mitros like us a little bit more.
That
Yeah,
makes sense. Then I will not be fireballing, and I will instead attempt to use I will definitely use Enlarge Reduce instead on Dragon.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Okay. So you can extend your hand out. It's kind of difficult to get to your component pouch when restrained by the vines, but you manage to just reach the component in just enough time and flick it over and consumes this. The spell consumes the component, and you see as Drakgar becomes large.
Yeah. Now I'm as big as the Elemental. Let's go.
Excellent. I'll just put that there just in case. And I guess that is my whole turn.
All right. That water, right?
No, yeah, right.
Boreas.
Chug, chug, chug.
Sure.
If it was a which are an actual creature that exists in Pathfinder, but we're not in Pathfinder. Sorry. So
Someone toss him a straw.
Everything's beer if you're brave enough.
So let's see. Boris is gonna get back up first of all. Look at you. Since you've grown a little bit. Let's see what he can do. Oof. It's
Oh, wait, did he get up or?
He did get up. He
Oh, gotcha.
used half his movement to get back up. Boreas kind of looks at you, Dragon. I'm going to show you what happens when you mess with one of the four winds. We named that title for a reason.
Uh-huh.
I'm Boreas, the Winter Wind. Feel this cold. And you see as he kind of pulls out the harp and begins to strum it. There is a surge of cold wind around him. I'm gonna need you to make me a. Okay, yes. I'm gonna need to make me a Constitution. Well, actually, no, not a Constitution. Dexterity saving throw rather.
Damn.
That is not gonna be enough. You see, as when the ice begins to form around him, he kind of then the ice kind of then solidifies in one of his hands, and he kind of when that final strum of the harp, the ice seems to fall onto the ground in a spike, and then and seems to form this wall of ice that kind of seems to block you off from Boreas. He's casting Wall of Ice.
That wall won't stop me.
So. Channel the wall is one position. The wall cuts through creature's face when it appears the creature must make certain. Oof, that's gonna be a lot of damage. Yes, he's trying to cut to make it so that you are not getting anywhere close to it. So you're gonna take a lot of fucking damage. 10d6 points of cold damage.
Well. And that's
if he
not
crits
half,
at
right?
60 damage, bro.
Okay.
That's a lot of ones.
You're all pretty bad. You take 24 points of cold damage, Drakgar, as the wall of ice appears right there. How can I make this look good? Yes.
And that's not half, right? Since it's magic damage, right?
That is completely magical. Let me place this like this. It's I believe a 60-foot long, up to 10-foot square panels. Okay, so it can be up to 100. Yeah, here it's kind of trying to box you into the area. I did not mean to do that last line over there. Hold on. Damn, sorry about that. I didn't mean to make it that long. He's going to put this here, here, and here. So he's trying to box you in. You see as the wall of ice kind of emerges, some of the cold aura that emanates kind of begin to give this frostbite to the fingers that are holding your weapon. You try to back away, but in that sort of like half moment of confusion, you weren't quite that fast enough. This is a creature moving through the sheet of frigid.
Oh, sorry. I just did I didn't mean to click it.
Right, so
That's me.
he has effectively, it is effectively a solid wall, meaning that he can now move away from you without provoking an up attack. Which is exactly what he's gonna do, as he will concentrate on that spell. What is his movement speed for Boreas? Pretty good. He's gonna move 5, 4, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. right here, the edge of the pond.
That is a lot of movement speed.
Hey man. The bot has not replaying the song. All right, I'll get to that in a moment. Lorius will try and assist here. His priority is getting you guys out of the entanglement. The closest one to him is Porunga, so he's gonna use his action to attempt to get you out of the entanglement, Porunga. He does it.
Let's
You
go.
see, yes, he kind of says, "Mr. Porunga, I'll get you out of there," and kind of reaches to the vines. Kind of at first he struggles to find like a way to undo the mass, but then says, "I think I got it. Here." It kind of pulls and the mass of vines kind of comes off of you. He himself is still entangled in them, but he has now freed you.
Thank you.
Does it have any bonus actions at the moment? Not right now. So that is going to be it for Lorius. Speaking of Porunga, it is your turn, and you are freed from the mass of vines.
All right, 1 second. All right, I want to use.
Ooh. Y'all, did you know Pumo had this?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Because I didn't.
Uh,
I want to use this.
that's why we read our sheets, people. What are you using?
He wasn't used it, bruh.
Sleet.
Come on, guys, you gotta listen. Come on,
Oh, hello.
Your spell.
I didn't know you were here.
come on, guy. Whole time I was just kidding. No, I just got here like 2 minutes ago.
So using Sleet Storm. 20 foot 20-foot tall cylinder with a 40-foot radius. Center of the point you can choose. Becomes heavily obscured and exposed flanks are doused. The ground is covered with thick ice, making it difficult to terrain. Ooh, okay. In that case, where are you placing this effect?
I was thinking like maybe over here.
Where right there? Who are all you trying to catch in the area?
Mainly like these four, and maybe the water thing, but mainly the four people up here. Boreas and the
All right.
the Dread.
In that case, hold on. I'm just making sure I can map this out in my head. Alright, so from there, that is a point of impact. In that case, let me add a spell marker right there that can help me keep an eye out for it. Spell markers. We're gonna use this one that I have. We're gonna use a fireball one, but we're gonna make it blue. That's a 40-foot radius cylinder. But it's 20 feet tall. Can anybody see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, so
I got it.
so you how would you flavor you casting this spell for me?
I just hold my hand out, and I picture like kind of like a snow tornado swirling up from this area, and then just insta freeze like the ground and area around it to make it the rough terrain.
So for a moment the temperature drops around you guys, and essentially you see as part of the pond becomes covered in ice, and the satyrs and the dryad begin kind of like to break. You will see as soon in a matter of an instant, this kind of storm localized entirely on this segment of the area begins to appear. It says they must make a dexterity saving throw or fall prone. Meaning
Damn.
that I have to roll dex saves for all of them. I believe everybody but the Dryad has... No, even the Dryad has magic resistance. Meaning these are all at advantage. Step.
I'm trying, guys.
Oh, never
Oh.
mind, just one.
Holy shit.
So, those are all high rolls.
So only the Satyr on the far right fails. He is now prone. It's still cool as fuck, and keep in mind, because the Dryad and Boreas are both concentrating on spells, at the start of their turns they're gonna have to make a con save or lose concentration.
What you said I had to do a Constitution.
No, if you read the spell, if a creature that starts its turn in a spell's area is concentrating on a spell, the creature must make a successful Constitution. Right? Spells and DC or
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
anything else for me?
I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna move back a little bit, and then I'll end my turn.
Okay.
Like next to Juno.
As you cast a spell, you hear Boreas' voice come from the storm, barely audible due to the noise that this localized storm is causing. But you can kind of hear him say, "It seems someone's trying to take my job." That is it for your turn. Drakgar, solid block of ice in front of you. You're gonna have to get around it somehow.
Can I not break it?
You can try.
Alright. Well, reckless this shit.
Hold on, just rereading the way the spell works.
What did you just walk around faster?
Dig under it. Easy.
Each segment of the wall has an AC of 12 and 30 hit points per 10-foot section. That is not going to be enough to actually break that segment of the wall.
That's why I'm gonna do it again.
Bro, go from the top. Oh, man.
Still not enough. Fuck.
Second strike, you couldn't really get that much leverage.
Oh, damn it. Oh, well.
You can kind of still see around the wall, by the way, because you are a large creature. The wall is only 10 feet tall.
Oh, it's only 10. Oh, god damn it. I thought it was bigger.
Bro, from the top rope, come on.
Yeah, my bad. I thought it was a bigger wall than that. Whoopsies. Oh, well. I guess it's too late.
Well, you can specifically see the water elemental. Medium-sized creatures are a little bit harder to see over the wall.
Oh, well then if I'm big enough and I didn't notice, is it too late to say that I attacked the elemental instead because I thought the wall was bigger, or?
You know what, I'll allow it. I'll say, however, the elemental benefits from, what would this be, 3/4 cover? Half cover? Doesn't say. I'm gonna say it benefits from 3/4 cover. Meaning that still wouldn't hit the elemental, the 18 wouldn't hit the elemental. Anything else?
That'd be it.
I'm gonna need you to make me another Constitution Dexterity save throw because you started your turn. You ended your turn next to the wall of ice.
Oh, another dex? Oh, okay. Frick.
Mind you. Hold on. Is this the first time to first save that there was an object. Oh my god, I was confusing it with Wall of Fire. You don't need to make another dex save. It is just if you try, whenever the wall first appears.
Oh, okay.
So do know Wall of Fire. Sorry about that. And so that's the end of your turn, Juno.
Alright, Juno's gonna whoop. Go over here and attempt to break Glorious out of his entanglement. That'd be a strength, right? Or athletic, or right?
Yeah.
It'd be an athletic check, right?
It's a raw strength check.
Oh, raw strength, okay.
Strength check.
Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong one.
Meaning we're going by the original roll. He rolled a 9. What is his strength? I don't think it's like.
+3.
Sadly, that is not going to be enough to undo the bindings and lords.
Does he have 2 attacks? So could I do it a second time, or would it only, does that only?
It takes an action to attempt.
Oh, action. Sorry.
To
Sorry, I meant to. Okay. I guess that's it.
The Dryad starts its turn in the Sleet Storm. Has to make a con save to maintain concentration on entanglement. Fails. The grappling binds are no longer there. Unless your DC is somehow 10 or. Let's see. Let me double check that Sleet Storm. Visual. Creature. When the creature returns or starts its turn, it has to make another dexterity saving throw or fall down. Again, magic resistance. I rolled that one. Never mind, it didn't. So 19. That makes it so it's not prone, but it will attempt to get out of the fucking Sleet Storm through the closest available path. It's kind of an obscured area, but she can still more or less make her way through. However, the only way she can do that is if. Is it considered difficult terrain, Porunga?
Yeah.
So 10, 15. Hold on. Yeah, she has. Let me double check it. So it's 10, 20, 30. Okay, yeah, she has just enough movement to get out of the Sleet Storm. She is. She did not like that. That's the only way of attacking you, however. No. Actually, yes. How far away are you? Porunga. The Dryad is gonna look over at you and say, I can tell you're quite strong. We should perhaps be friends. Could you make me a wisdom save against a charm effect?
Oh no.
Sure.
Oh no.
You are now
Oh no.
charmed by the Dryad. You believe that she's an ally, trusted one to be protected.
Remember, you have Bardic Inspiration too.
Needed. Do you want to use your Bardic Inspiration to attempt to pass this?
I want to use Bardic Inspiration. I don't know.
No.
Is that is it D4?
It's a D8.
It's a D8.
Oh, a D8. Okay, yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. You pass it. You, for a moment, the words of the Dryad kind of sink into your mind. But then you blink, you kind of shake your head, drive off the strange sensations that the Dryad was trying to make you feel. You are now.
The power of friendship.
You are now immune to that effect for the next 24 hours.
I look at her and say, "Nice try, tumbleweed."
That was her
Nice
action.
tries for Cyclone.
That was her action, movement. Doesn't have any bonus actions. That is the end of Dryad's turn. Water Elemental. First of all, let's start his turn. Let's see if he regains his Whelm ability. Does not regain his Whelm ability. See that Drakgar is currently busy behind a wall of ice. Water Elemental is then going to turn its attention to the rest of the party. You may take an up attack at again if you wish, Drakgar. The Water Elemental is going to benefit from cover.
Damn it.
No dice. Water Elemental is going to turn to look at Exandri and Metius next to it. It's going to multi-attack. 2 slam attacks, 1 on Exandri, 1 on Metius. So, Exandri. And then Metius. Oh, give it a moment, it's rolling. Right. I assume a 26 hits you, Exandri.
Yeah.
Oh shit, no way.
A 15 hit you, Metius?
It does, but I'm going to use my reaction to cast Shield, which should make my AC +5, so 12 plus 5 is 17.
Alright, so that right before the elemental strike reaches you, you kind of put this arcane barrier in front of you that makes it sort of like the water is just kind of trickles around it. The Exandri, however, you're not so lucky. Is going to take 11 points of bludgeoning damage. That is it for the water elemental. This Satyr is already prone, so I don't think it has to make the next save against.
Double prone.
Yeah, against the thing. It will use half its movement to get back up and attempt to get out of the sleep storm. That's not gonna
Slip and fall. Slip and fall.
10. He has to use an action to dash to get out of the sleep storm.
Way.
Derek, it is your turn.
Finally, action. Which one was prone again from the blizzard?
Now not well. That one that just got out.
Oh, that was the only one that got prone during the sleet storm. God dang it.
Yeah, they all rolled high.
And is the grassly? Can I insight check to see if this grassly's a humanoid?
Wait, what?
Check if this lady's a humanoid.
You being a fae, I'll say there's no need to make a check. You know dryads are fae. They don't count as humans.
Damn it. And I can I never use that one. Seems good. I used that spell the whole time. I was not have that one at that point. Alright. Time for me to use Desolate Whispers on the Dryad Green Lady.
Okay.
Oh, alright. I closed it. God damn it.
Dryad will make...
Sorry, I closed the thing on accident.
Will make a...
Closed it on accident.
What level? Just so I know.
Just a case level 1, because I still don't get it a little bit. I still don't get this much.
Okay.
Get it.
In that case, wisdom save with advantage. 14 was your DC.
No. DC is 14.
Okay, so it does make the damage. I believe she still takes half. She just doesn't have to run away because of it. So she takes half for 3. No, not 33. I was almost about to add minus 33 to her health. That is your action. Anything else? Derek?
Yeah.
Anything else?
To be honest, I don't think I can do much.
Could you take Derek away from me so I lag a little less, please?
Yes, one moment.
So I still gotta figure which ones are bonus actions or actions. I think that's all I can do for now.
I will remind you Your Bard Inspiration takes a bonus action to perform.
If that's only bonus action I can do, then I still can't do much after that. If I only hit a spell, like something else I can, that lagged. Well, that's it. That's all I can do for now.
Alright. Satyr, who is not inside the Snakestorm, but is behind the wall of ice. He's gonna move 20 feet right here, so it's like behind the wall of ice and with line of sight of Drakgar. And I believe you reckless earlier. Yes, you
I
did.
did.
So it's going to shoot you with a short bow at advantage. 20.
That'll hit.
24, 4 points of piercing damage.
Lol.
Let's see how much movement does the Satyr have. Still has a couple of bit of movement left, so he's gonna move back 10,
That tickled.
20, right here. Satyr inside the Sleet Storm, gonna make a dex save. No dice, he falls prone. Uses half of his movement to stand back up. So that would leave him with. Okay, so he's 10. Yeah, 10, 15. Okay, so he makes it out the wall, sheet of ice. Looks over at you. Wait, no, hold on. Okay, let's go terrain. Oh yeah, he would have just enough to like make it out. He doesn't have a good angle on anybody no more in this position, so he's gonna have to, for the time being, just chalk it up and take the dodge action. Exandri.
All right. Her. I'm just gonna take an attack of opportunity. Oop, nope, wait. Shit, if I do that though, I'll be using my action. I'm gonna cast Sanctuary on myself.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna run away from this water dude.
Right. He has to make a wisdom save against your. This one, water elemental does not have magic resistance, so this is a regular.
You're cutting it out a little bit.
I was saying the water elemental doesn't have magic resistance, so this is a regular roll, which he fails, so he can't take the attack.
All right.
I will. Just as a reminder, Sanctuary disappears if you take hostile actions.
What was that?
Just as a reminder, Sanctuary disappears if you take hostile actions.
I know.
Alright.
Oh, well, that was my action, so there's nothing else I can really do but run away. Oh, that's a bonus action. Oh, hey.
Yeah, Sanctuary.
Good to know. I'm going to use my action to cast. One second, sorry. Here. Let me find it. Sorry, I have a lot of shit on my page. I'm gonna cast this with my action.
Emboldening Bond. Who are you targeting with Emboldening Bond? Who are you targeting?
I can target 4 people, right?
Let's see. You can.
Or 3.
You can choose a number equal to your proficiency bonus. So 3 at the moment, I believe.
Alright, so I target My brother.
And you target Drakgar, that's one. Who are you targeting next?
Juno.
Juno.
Oh wait, so I can only use the D4 once per. Okay.
Okay, it's only once per
And myself.
and yourself. So you hold onto your holy symbol, and these two strings of light come out and kind of fly forward towards Juno and towards Drakgar. Because Drakgar is currently large size, the most you can see out of him is like his forehead picking. Well, yeah, like a little bit of his upper body peeking out over the wall, over the wall of ice. You know, think
I see your
My head just starts
forehead, bro.
glowing.
think the colossal titan, you know, in, in the back of Titan. So like you use this string kind of flies to his forehead. So anything else, Alexandri? You still have some movement
I'm
left.
gonna move the fuck away.
All right.
So that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
All right. Metius, it is your turn then. Oh, sorry. Was that the end of your turn, Alexandri? Alexandri, that was the end of your turn, or?
Yeah, that was the end of my turn.
Okay. In that case, Metius, go ahead.
All right. I have a quick question. In the fireball description, it says it will travel around corners.
Correct.
It does.
Does
We
that
learned
mean
that
that
last day.
will it travel around this corner, this big wall, like the top of it?
Yeah, because fireball is a 20-foot radius. The wall is only 10 feet tall. I mean that there is
Okay.
enough of a gap for the fireball to slink through and hit Drakgar.
Okay, then I'm going to place the fireball there instead, hopefully just hitting the dryad and the water weird.
All right.
So he pulls a little ball of bat guano out of his pocket and shoots out a little bead of red light, and it hits the ground and detonates. Rolling, I need to roll 8d6.
All right.
Ouch.
Make a dexterity saving throw against your spell save DC. Again, Dryad has magic resistance, so there's advantage. And
My spell save DC is 15.
12, she fails. Let's see whether her mental succeeds or fails. Even though it succeeded, you would think a water elemental would be resistant to fire. He isn't actually. So Dryad takes 29 points of fire damage, which knocks her out of commission. The elemental takes let's see, what would this be? 20, no, because it's rounded down. That would be, I believe, 14 points of damage. Water elemental still looks pretty healthy. You see part of the water that makes up its body more or less like evaporate, but it's very quickly kind of begins to flow again. The dryad is kind of the fireball kind of detonates right next to her, and she kind of just flies away with a couple of burns, but otherwise seemingly still alive. Just gets pushed back a little bit through the blast. Anything else?
Just clutching the holy symbols on his spell book, he's gonna look at Porunga and nod and say fire and ice, and I'll end my turn.
All right.
Hell yeah.
All right. There goes the fireball. Boreas, at the start of his turn, he has to make a dex save and a con save. The dex save to avoid falling prone. Here we go. 20, he makes it. Then a con save to avoid losing concentration on wall of ice. 20, he makes it. So he is, however, still in the middle of a. Oh, sorry. Still in the middle of this sleet storm. Meaning that he has to make his way out of there. It is difficult terrain, so let's see. So that's all of his movement. He has to take the dash action to get out of there. It's the dash action just to get out of the sleet storm. Kinda begins to wipe snow off of his shoulders as he comes out of the storm. Alright. Now which one of you was the funny one that did that? Even though he asked the question out loud, you very quickly see that his eyes fall at you, Porunga, and says, I'll get you. Is you want to say something? Porunga, you were gonna say something, or?
I'm not sure if he's talking, but I can't hear.
Same. Everything got dead quiet.
Oh, damn.
He's plotting.
Alright, sorry about that. When did I cut out? Hello?
Hello? Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah, when did I cut out?
Right when you moved Boreas out,
Oh,
like I just stopped hearing.
sorry about that. Okay, so I was just saying he exit out the sleet storm, wiping snow off his shoulders, and kind of looks over at you, Porunga, and says, "That was a nice first attempt, but if you really want to feel the cold winter bite, I am more than obliged to show you." He, however, can't do so this turn. Is there any? No, that's it. Lorius. Now out of the bindings will let's see what he can do. He's gonna move in to assist Metius. Going to stand right beside you and say, "Don't worry, I'm here to help." He's going to attempt to swing with a short sword. 14. Does that hit a water elemental? Yeah, that actually hits.
Oh.
You can tell, however, his weapon is not particularly effective. Perhaps the elemental is a little bit resistant to conventional weapons. That is it for Lorius. Porunga, go ahead while I get the bot working on it.
I'm gonna twin spell Frostbite, and the first one's gonna go to Boreas. The second one will go to the water elemental.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and shoot me your frostbites. Right, so con save. First one on Boreas. 12 fails, takes 5 points of cold damage. Oh, I lag for a little bit. Let's see. And then the elemental has to make a con save as well. The elemental succeeds, so does not take the cold damage. You see as your beams of cold energy fly towards the and the water elemental. Boris is unable to dodge enough time, and the elemental kind of makes an opening in its body so that it kind of flies through and then seals it back up. Anything else, Porunga?
I'm gonna retreat back next to Xandri.
All right.
And then I'm gonna sacrifice a level 3 spell slot to get some sorcery points. And end my turn.
All right. In that case, Drakgar, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm not sure with how tall I am, with how much bigger I am with enlarge, but can I attempt to get over the ice wall?
You can indeed. Let's see. Considering that it is made out of somewhat dangerous ice, Make me an athletics check.
Alright. Which?
You are still raging, I believe. So that is.
Yes, because I got attacked.
So it's a 26. You climb up over the ice wall. Let me double check the spell actually real quick. Does anything happen if you touch it? Wall of ice. Yeah, how tall are you normally actually?
I'm 7 foot something.
So you're 14 feet tall right now.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Dang.
You're on the border of becoming a huge size creature.
Hell yeah.
Huge size creatures are 15 feet tall or bigger. Let's see. The wall is object. A creature moving through the sheet of frigid air. Okay.
Oh, the spell slot that I sacrificed is actually a level 2. I don't have any more
All right, that's
level 3.
so not from what I can read, nothing happens if you touch the wall. So you may just move.
Alright, so I'm gonna sheath my axe, get over the wall, and I'm gonna move over here, and then instead I'm gonna smack him with Pythor's hammer.
All right, go ahead.
And then obviously reckless.
17 hits.
Oh, I was also supposed to get divine because that was my first attack, so I'll roll that real quick.
I think. Yeah, no, it's suddenly enlarged at the moment.
Alright, so d6, 4 plus 2 is 6 extra damage.
All right. Are you one-handing the weapon?
Oh, I meant to click 2, but
Well,
I guess I clicked 1.
10 instead of the D8.
Should I reroll the d10 then, or?
Yeah, just throw me the D10 instead of the D8.
Okay. Wait, what? I'll manually do it then.
Okay, so hold on. In that case, that is. Oh, what? Nice. Fuck it up. Alright, so that would be a total of. How much did you roll for your Divine Fury?
Divine Fury got me a. Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah, it's a 4, right?
4 plus 2, 6, yeah. 6 damage. Because it gets plus 2. I only rolled a d6. It's a d6 plus 2, so.
Okay, so. Alright, that is 23 points of damage. The environmental didn't like that, but it's still standing.
Alright, and then I get a second attack, right?
Yeah, second attack.
And that one would not proc Divine Fury. Make sure I click the right one.
In that case, that's another 16 fucking points of damage. Water Elemental is looking rougher. You can see that half of its body being kind of melt down into a puddle, but it's still standing.
Alright, and then that'll be it.
Alright. What is Juno doing?
Juno is gonna run over here, and then he's gonna use quarterstaff, two-handed.
Hits. Takes 11 points of damage. He is still standing. He has to make a con save to maintain concentration on wall of ice. Actually, would you bother concentrating on that?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you fully. I thought he was in my bed.
No. He's still standing. He just has to make a con save. Actually, no. He's just gonna drop concentration on wall of ice. So no concentrating on it. Wall of ice disappears. That 11 is Not gonna hit.
All right, and then he'll do his unarmed strike. If I can.
Alright. 15 on Boreas is. Check. We'll just hit. Roll me damage.
Alright.
7 points of bludgeon damage. Anything else?
Nope, that'll be it.
The Dryad is only out for count. Water Elemental. Let's see if he redeems his wall mobility. He does. Yes, we can. Yeah, 2 targets are better than 1 target. It is going to eat the up attack from you, Drakgar. If you wish to take it.
Hell yeah. I was holding Pythor's hammer, so whoops.
20 hits. Does the yeah, okay, that's 12 points of damage on the water elemental. Still standing. Will kind of get swarm around Lorius and Metius. And I'm gonna need Metius to make me a strength saving throw. But Lorius will do that as well. Mike's going out again. Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
your mic is like cutting in and out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's clear.
So I was saying, Metius, make me a strength saving throw.
Okay. Oh no.
That is not gonna make it. Lorius makes.
Not ideal.
Actually, hold on. I believe this triggers. Let me double check something about Lorius. No, because there's an area of effect, so he can't even use his special ability. So Lorius is out of the water elemental space, but you, Metius, kind of begin to get smacked around the inside of the watery body of the elemental. You first of all take. Let me double check how much damage that is. 2d8 plus 4 points of damage.
Oh no. Oh no.
Take 12 points of damage, and you are now grappled, restrained, and unable
Oh my god.
and unable to breathe. Meaning
Okay.
that you cannot cast spells with verbal components.
That is terrible.
Some jutsus.
So listen,
Yes.
anybody on subsequent turns can attempt to pull you out, but we'll see how things go. This Satyr, still alive, is gonna look over at Drakgar, say, "Hey, big guy, you learned to do something about your friends," and is going to take a short bow attack at you. 34, which hits. For 8, reduced to 4 points of piercing damage. Derek.
I'm just not even gonna acknowledge him like he didn't even hit me.
Okay, this what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Oh god. God. I cast Vicious Mockery on Dissonant Whispers on the water elemental.
Oh, okay. Has to make a wisdom save.
Yeah, no,
He makes it. He got a natural 20.
it's
But hey, that's a natural 20 that he didn't crit on somebody. So
you're welcome, guys. You're welcome, team. Of course, you're welcome.
Nice.
I'll cast Yes, since I can't do much after that, I'll cast
roll me damage.
use one of my bardic
Roll
on my damage.
Whispers. Yeah, because he still takes half.
Okay, sorry, my bad. So I'll cast level 1.
Takes 7
7.
of psychic damage. Proper.
And that's it. Oh, then I'll use one of my Bardic Inspiration on Juno. And I tell him, just, you got this, buddy, you got this, and that's it.
All right. Other Satyr taking aim. Let's see. Can he reach anybody besides Drakgar with the reach of the short bow? That's an 80-foot reach. Yeah,
Son of a bitch.
can reach anybody. Right now at this angle, he can't actually shoot Porunga or Satyr because they're behind some rocks.
He can't do that.
So I'm gonna roll a D2. No, D3. 1 is Juno, 2 is Derek, 3 is Drakgar.
Whew.
Satyr,
Bring it.
short bow striker.
The crit 2. The crit 2, so it's back.
That hit.
14 hits? Yeah, I can forget you have a low hit. That's 2 points of piercing damage.
That's
But you have a
1 point of
stone
piercing
bond.
damage because I got my 10 hit points still. Let's go.
Last Satyr on turn order is going to move 10, 15, 20 right here as it runs up to Juno and is going to attempt to ram him with his horns.
Ain't no way.
You see as the Satyr attempts to kind of like run at Juno, which, you know, when you really think about it, is somebody trying to hit a bull person with horns. So Juno very deftly just kind of does like this deflect, like parry move, and the Satyr ends up hitting his head against the rock next to him. Kind of reels.
Juno just shakes his hand after he misses.
Kind of reels back, you know, to recover from the blow. That's it for a Satyr. Xandri. Xandri, it is your turn.
Let's see. Where away is this dude? Oh, he's in range. Okay. I'm gonna pull out my Cupid's bow. And I'm gonna shoot him with it.
Shoot who?
Boreas. Non-lethally with my Cupid's bow.
And he's still looking pretty healthy, so you don't need to worry about non-lethal just yet. Boreas will... so 15 hits from the damage. I gotta ask, are you putting the... you know, the effect of charming him, or...
Am I putting the effect of what?
to charm him?
That only works if I get a natural 20, right?
No, I believe it's just anytime you hit, you can...
They get charmed every time I get a natural 20.
Let me double... No, hold on.
I'm pretty sure that's what it
Let me
is.
double check that. Appendix. Not this one. Here's my silver. What's an art? Treasures, here we go. Short bow of cupidity. Yeah, once per day on a successful hit, you may force the target to make a wisdom saving throw on a failure. His charmed for 1 hour.
Sure.
Let's go.
Alright, so first of all, roll me damage for it.
Sure. With my voiding ball, let me look here.
Molimon, I believe, only applies against attack rolls and saving throws. So it takes 8 points of damage.
So I would do it if it gets the roll, not the damage.
Yes, it's you can use your Molimon on attack rolls and saving throws. I don't think it applies for damage.
So yeah, I guess I'll try to charm him.
Alright. Fey Ancestry doesn't work for this, actually. So here we go. What is the DC?
It has a DC?
Yes.
Well, whatever it is, it's definitely higher than 5.
Hey, I'm asking so that you can keep track of this for future reference.
It's definitely higher than 5. I can't do anything. Roll 20 is frozen, so I don't know what you're asking for. Like I can't even click my character sheet.
All right.
DC is 14.
And the DC 14. All right. In that case, Boreas is now charmed. You see Xandri kind of draws for the bow, and right before the arrow shoots, there's kind of like this weird sort of like pink mist that manifests on the tip of the arrow. Takes a shot at Boreas, who gets shot, and then when he's kind of recovering from the blow, Juno and Derek are the closest one to him, who would notice how his eyes seem a little bit unfocused. It seems to be kind of like this questioning expression on his face.
Oh, he charmed by me. That's fun. I also got this Cupid thing stuck on my screen now.
You can just close.
I keep refreshing, but every time I refresh, it just makes roll 20 worse.
Oh damn. Hold on. I think I can do about this. Wait, so I can hide this from people. I'm checking to see how I can do to improve everyone's else performance. Is everybody else lagging like that?
I'm lagging, but
fine.
not that badly. Or I mean, I'm not really lagging. It's kind of like an FPS thing. It's like
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm checking to see if there's anything I can do, but I'm pretty sure I have everything in the settings that would take the least amount of performance.
So he is charmed by me. Do I get to ask him like anything?
As per the rules of 5e, a charmed target regards the creature as an ally. Let me charmed condition. Conditions charmed. Charmed creature can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magic effects. Charmer has advantage on any ability check to interact socially with the creature. So, in a sense, if you were to ask him something, he would be compelled, in a sense, to at least answer.
I would. If my allies attack him, will he become uncharmed?
Let me double check.
It doesn't say.
Believe. Let me double check. Treasures. I'm gonna say that he will. He will if your allies attack him.
But I one shot him quick.
I'm going to be like, Boreas, please rethink this. We do not wish to fight. Please call your allies back. And then I'm gonna look at my teammates and I'm gonna like shake my head no, as to like not touch him.
I take my knife out just in case.
Boreas is like, I think I may have been a bit too hasty. The other satyrs kind of look at him like, very confused. The satyrs that still standing kind of look at him, and one of them says, "Boss, what's happening here? A moment ago you wanted them dealt with." They're gonna turn over to look at you, Xandri, like the rest of the satyrs, and they say, "You did something to the boss, didn't you?"
No, I just simply asked him for this to end.
The rest of the Satyrs are still not convinced, but the Boreas at the very least seems to be standing down.
To win for us, boys. It's
We
pack
do
it up.
not wish for bloodshed. That is all.
I guess you can make me a persuasion check.
I'll do my best.
Use your whamily charm.
This is an ability check. Can I roll my bond with this?
Yeah, you may. Also,
Is it a?
also you.
It's a D4.
Also, you are a Siren, are you not?
I am a siren as well.
I believe you Sirens get
It's
something.
at advantage.
Yeah, something with persuasion checks. So that is a 21. Does multiplying bond apply for ability checks?
I wanna roll my bond thing with it too. Just
I'm
because.
does it actually apply to ability checks?
I believe so. I think it's under my thing. It says advantage.
Like,
Let me look.
can we roll?
It's just really laggy, guys. Sorry.
Can we roll to an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw? Okay, so you may.
Okay. Roll D4. Just one.
I mean,
22 points.
still pretty good number. You kind of see the other satyrs kind of like make this really frustrated look in their face, but then kind of look back at Boreas, like very clearly not gonna be able to do much now that something happened to them, and they kind of look over each other, and they seem to be eyeing like the exit of the glade that you guys came from. One of the satyrs says, "Alright, how's this? We can keep the boss, so let's go."
What are they trying to do?
Essentially,
Yeah.
to throw Boreas under the bus and hoping to convince you to let him go.
I'm sorry, your mic is it? I don't know if it's
Shane.
my computer. Is he lagging for anyone else? Is it
No, I
just
heard
me?
him fine.
You said that they're throwing Boreas under the bus and
And I
trying
forgot
to
to
bail.
turn you up, Luke, so I can't hear you. Period.
Oh.
Let me reconnect. Sorry.
Alright. Can you hear me now?
A little bit, yeah.
Essentially, they're trying to see if they can throw Boreas under the bus and, convince you to let them go.
On one condition.
They raise an eyebrow.
You guys must make an oath that you'll never hurt or try and conspire against the kingdom of Mitros again.
They kind of look at each other, and they the one that is the most hurt towards the back says, "It was the boss' idea anyway. Sure, we swear that we're not going to hurt the people of Mitros. Does that work for you?"
And if you guys do, we will come for you.
I assure you, you won't hear of us ever again.
Alright. Be safe.
So, do you guys? I will say Boreas because he's the one commanding the elemental. He will call the elemental off and stop it from drowning Metius.
Poor Metius.
You
I
better.
forgot about Metius.
So if everybody's in agreement, we are effectively dropping initiative.
Sounds good to me.
And let me get rid of the music mod. So you guys see as the satyrs kind of go up. I realized I never deleted the the blue fireball on the back. Uh, they kind of run up to the unconscious dryad, uh, and just kind of like hoist her up in between two of them.
Before they leave though, I'll actually go over and heal her just to make sure she's not like.
I mean, she's burned. You see like half her body. As you can see in her image, she's like mostly made out of like wood and leaves. Like her body seems to, almost resemble like a tree in all but shape. Uh, so there's like a segments of her body that have been like completely burned off, leaving like a slightly not really like fleshy, but like almost like the interior of a tree, like a more slightly clearer in coloration segments. Uh,
Um, I I I'll heal her for 5 with my bandage. But before they leave, I pull out a piece of parchment, and on the parchment, because I don't really know how bonds work. I'll hit henceforth won't cause mischief or try and disrupt or take control of Mitros,
Well,
and I'll ask them to sign it.
just kind of scribble, presumably their names in Sylvan or some other form of signature. It's kind of hard to tell because it's kind of done in like very hasty. Think like doctor handwriting, right? You know how the meme is that nobody can understand how how doctors write. So it's kind of like that. It's just kind of like this very quick squibble. Uh, well, not squibble. There's clearly some structure to it, so it does. They are words to what they're writing. Again, presumably like their names or some form of other telltale signature. Uh, you know,
and
they then kind of like do that and tell you, all right, we signed it. Uh, can we leave now?
You may.
and while she does that, I'm gonna tie up Boreas.
Well, no,
I'm gonna walk up.
Boris is conscious. He's still awake. And
He's conscious. He's just obeying.
yeah, he well,
I'm up
No, no,
there
I'm
with him.
gonna.
less obeying, more
I
so.
was thinking like police hand.
Less obeying, more so. He is
I was thinking more like police handcuffs get his hand, but if he's already
like
fine,
less
sorry.
obeying, more so. He's considering at the moment Alexandria as an ally and therefore no longer hostile. The elemental kind of spits you back out, Metius, onto the ground, where Lorius
Ah, you're wet.
Kind of helps you get back up. The elemental kind of turns his attention to Boreas, who looks at it and just does like a gesture with his hand. The elemental kind of flows its way back onto the pond.
I use sleight of hand to steal the harp.
I mean, uh,
Thank you.
Mine.
I believe you've already
Ooh, it's
used
mine.
healer's kit.
Where did I go?
You place yourself under Metius. Uh,
Oh my. Oh, whoa.
hold on. Uh,
Sleight of hand steals harp.
well, hold on. Before you do that, Boreas is looking at you guys and saying, "I'm not sure what's happening, but you wanted to talk, so we'll talk." He kind of says while putting away the harp, kind of like strapping it back to his side.
Smedge.
Um,
Just saying. Just saying. Here you go. Mine now. A good guy, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
you're definitely not a good guy. I don't know how
I am
you're a
good
good guy.
guy. I am good guy. I'm a great guy.
Xandria's gonna look up Boreas and she's gonna be like, I understand your frustration, of what has happened to your ancestries. But you can't just disrupt and dissemble a kingdom because you disagree with its ownership and rules of authority.
He kind of looks over at you and says, "But I mean, if I don't do that, then how am I gonna get anyone to respect me around here? You see, us of the Four Winds, we're trying to make our name big, bigger than anybody else in this land. That's why I got this harp here," kind of gesturing to the harp.
What do you mean? What harp? Harp's in my hand.
I mean, again, he's. Oh, were you serious about attempting to like swipe it from?
Yeah, yes, it's my harp now. Alright, buddy, you promised. Just saying, you promised to give me the harp. If they're done, they're done.
He's going to attempt to resist. Unlikely he'll.
No,
Uh,
no way.
so you kind of swipe the harp from Boreas, and he says, "Hey, wait! I got that fair and square."
Yeah, but you promised me fair and square. They're done for real. They're probably gonna get to beheaded. Is what you wanted. The deal was that.
He's just gonna give it to us.
It's mine. I'm a dual harp.
Kind of looking at you. Oh, by the way, Drakgar, you return to your original size. Uh,
Back to mini
Oh,
man,
good.
mini man.
Boreas says, "Whatever. I don't even remember why I was angry anyway." Now, gonna turn to you, Eccentric, because again, you're the one that charmed him. He'll say,
The knife out just place.
he'll say, "Look, I'm not. There's a fog in my mind. Things are not quite making sense at the moment. But Trellis and Septi are dealt with. That's what matters. Are you telling me that I should give up on my dreams of greatness? Come on, friends don't do that."
I'm telling you, you should find different dreams of greatness.
Like what? There's only very few places here in Thylea that people know right off the top of their heads. Besides the smaller settlements around there, everybody knows Arisha, Mitros, Astoria. Well, where other places can I attempt to reach that level of recognition?
Have you never thought about starting one of your own? Is your plans so meek that the only way you can achieve your goal is to steal from others?
Whoa there. Stealing is a strong word.
You stole this wine?
I call it reappropriation. I told you that wine was supposed to partially belong to us.
Understandable. But you could never produce any hard facts for it. Just your word. And we took your word to Trellis and Septia, in which they denied it. They got very upset over it. And because of the action that they took next, they are now in custody on trial to get hung or beheaded. Not quite sure which they do in this capital.
So, what? Are you gonna turn me in as well?
Does my character technically know or understand how an oath is actually created?
Well, oaths are a form of ancient magic, if you want to see them that way. Supposedly, magic as old as the creation of the land of Thalia itself. The average person would probably know that oaths are magically binding contracts of sorts, where there isn't, there's no incantation, there's no ritual that is done, at the very least not in the conventional sense. Oaths are a thing that is done with a particular intent in mind. However, in rare occasions, oaths are one-sided, but more often than not, the person on one of the receiving ends must be at least aware of the oath. For instance, one person could say, "I swear an oath of service to you," and in that particular case, the person on the receiving end of that oath of service, though beneficiary of the oath, doesn't necessarily have to be a participant here. However, on some occasions, uh, an oath goes both ways, such as in the case of the Oath of Peace, where the gods cannot attack the Titans and the Titans cannot attack the gods. So they are both participants in this. As far as how they work, like in a more technical aspect, it remains a bit of a mystery even to the people of Thylea. They just seem to be able to exert a force in the world.
So, would my character know if there was a way to create an oath between Boreas and our group?
Depends on what type of oath.
Essentially a peace oath, almost like how the gods and the Titans have one, where like, because I'm also a peace cleric.
Mm-hmm.
Um, kind of like an oath where Boreas and those who follow him, like the satyrs we just let go, for example, are to not cause trouble for the three cities that he mentioned, and kind of like in return, um, we would also extend a branch of protection to their race and their kind in the Feywilds.
Well, I mean, make mm, you're a cleric. Do you have proficiency in religion?
Mm-hmm.
I'll say you know enough that a oath that encompasses that large of a group, because you're implying more or less here that this might apply to the rest of the Fae that are sided with Boreas, which, as far as you can know, there were only four, but it could have possibly been more. You would know enough about oaths to know that a oath that encompasses like that large of a extended group is not something that mortals like often, you know, are really like known to do. Uh, as far as like making like an oath to avoid causing trouble for other cities, well, a possibility, but those are very vague terms.
So if I were to just say if an oath was to be just made with Boreas and our group, would an oath like Boreas is to use his talents?
You have him charmed right now, so he's a little bit more agreeable, but that doesn't mean he will just blindly accept all terms and conditions.
Oh, I understand. I'm just trying to think of how to word it. So, like, if we were to say if an oath was specifically for Boreas not to harm, um, ooh, I don't know how to word it. So essentially, we don't want Boreas to enact everything that caused us to attack him in the first place, and maybe to use his leadership abilities more along the lines of good instead of chaotic evil. And because essentially, if we turn him in, he's going to die. But he's not really done anything bad. He had bad intentions, but he never acted upon those bad intentions.
That you know of.
So turning him in makes him lose his life.
Again, that you know of. Is like,
So you're saying that he's
I mean, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying as far as you're aware.
Yeah, as far as we're aware, correct.
making it sound super sus. You just blew
She's
up an
gonna look at the
RPG right
group and
before
she's
we.
gonna ask what they think we should do. Should we try and create a bond with him to where he doesn't try to harm others and instead lead people?
If that would work, I think that would be the
Righteously?
better option,
Uh,
but I'm not sure if it would.
He looks at you and says, "Look, if you want me out of here, fine. Not like anybody else stuck around here."
I'm gonna look at like Metius to see if he thinks of anything.
Well, Metius is going to, still recovering from drowning inside of a monster, probably cough and clean himself off with prestidigitation, and will sternly look at Boreas and then to Exandri and say, "While I will defer to the wisdom of the group, I believe that he needs to at least stand trial. I understand that he, to our knowledge, hasn't done anything horrible or grievous, but he planned to. It speaks to his character that he was so willing, especially in front of us, to admit to treason, to what would be the overthrowing of the greatest city around. I think he needs to stand trial."
I'm gonna look at Metius and I'm gonna roll my eyes. I'm like, and you believe they're gonna let him go.
I
Unfortunately, King Castro, whatever his name is, because Cassie actually just forgot.
cast it.
Yeah, Castus. um, do you think he's known for actually not taking people's heads? Do you
I
think
don't
he's
trust him.
do you
I
think
know
he's
that he isn't
known?
known for that, but why do we care about the judgment laid down on Boreas so specifically? Why does he need to live? He needs to be tried and judged under whatever system of law that he abused or wanted to abuse.
Oh, whoa, whoa, hold on there. I mean, nothing actually happened, right? Yeah, we took a couple
Metis will
of them.
point over to the barrels.
I mean, yeah, we took a couple of them, but like, have you seen the size of the vineyards around here? It could have
Are
been.
you trying to tell me that nobody got hurt in your theft in any way? You didn't directly or indirectly harm another?
Well,
Fact.
not permanently.
Oh,
Not
That's
permanently.
buggy.
I almost drowned inside of this disgusting creature of yours. You are attacking my companions.
Okay.
I honestly am, and I mean, Exandri, I applaud you for your infinite uh, care and empathy to want to save the life of this person who attacked us. But I'd say the evidence is against him.
I mean, we also attacked first. Please keep that in mind.
We needed to. This is we weren't just attacking out of some kind of,
As you
you know,
guys are,
whim.
as you, sorry to interrupt, but as you guys are having this conversation saying, no, we attacked him, no, he attacked us. you begin to see like this expression forming on Boreas, like the fog in his head trying to clear it out as it seems to contradict, the current effect that he's on. Because, he wouldn't attack you, he's your friend, you know? So you see him kind of
Um,
take like a hand
I
to the
would ask my
side.
brother to tie him up.
I thought I did earlier, but I
Well,
don't know if
I mean,
we went through with it.
No.
again, reminder, his charm that doesn't mean he's under like mind control,
Yeah.
at least not directly. So he's just gonna let you like tie him up, because friends don't tie up friends, you know. uh, so he's gonna look over you guys and say, "Look, cut me a bit of slack here. I was once telling the truth when I said that these lands once were enriched by my ancestors. In that you can be certain I'm not lying. I just, you know, wanted to reclaim part of that splendor. Look, you want me to leave my trust alone? Fine, I'll do that. You want to keep the harp? Keep it, it's yours. Don't make me go over there. They'll toss me to that dragon and have me incinerated.
Insight check him, see if he's being honest about leaving.
You may.
Back.
13. Kind of hard to read, even though he's charmed, so he's being somewhat honest with you. The whole part about, you know, uh, again, retreading sort of like the narrative of his ancestors, the harp, it seems genuine. When he begins to say, about just going, seems he himself isn't exactly like, you know, 100% in it, but again, in his mind, him being your friend, he seems to attempt to just not try to escalate the situation, and that seems to be like his way out. He says, "I just want to carve a piece of the world for myself, and I won't harm people here around in Mitras anymore. You know, if that'll make y'all happy."
Metius is just gonna cross his arms, and again, I will defer to the group, but what he was suggesting, overthrowing a city, there's no way that that happens peacefully. He was talking about mass murder, fires,
Oh,
looting.
whoa! I never said anything about killing no.
It doesn't matter what you said, intentions. These kinds of things, how could you have possibly overthrown the king in any other way?
Well,
He was talking about overthrow the king off of power of wealth.
you see, through the vineyards, and he kind of begins to make like this, sort of like death talk esque like body language to kind of.
Yeah, no, he was totally just talking about overthrowing the king out of the sure will of expanding his vineyard so much that his wealth would be enough to overthrow him. Correct?
Eh, well, not the exact indication of his words. He seems to be, the way he explained the situation earlier, seems to have taken an approach more akin to influence slash wealth than armed, revolt.
I do not believe you would stop there, Boreas. I do not believe you wouldn't be physically strong arming people on your way to the top. I do not believe that you wouldn't eventually slip down this slope into attacking or assassinating business rivals or caravans with this kind of thing. It only started with theft, and I believe that you should be tried, but the group maybe doesn't see it that way, and I will defer to them.
Well, that's hurtful. That really hurts. Hear it from a friend. He kind of says while looking at you, Metius.
There's no expression.
Um, I'm at a cross because if we turn him in, he's definitely just going to die. Yes, he was talking about some really bad things, but quite frankly, I also, no offense, think King Acosta shouldn't be holding his stance of power in my trust anyways. He's a tyrant and not the greatest.
I don't think any of us think that he should be in power.
And my auntie clearly told us he wants us dead.
Well, he's not doing a good enough job with that.
But I also believe that Boreas does need to have some form of action held against him.
All right, I'm gonna
Um,
level with all of you. You really want somebody to come in and give me a slap on the wrist? I can take this story and all of this happenings back to the druid circle of the old woods. You know, it will reprimand me for meddling in the affairs of the civilized world. I kind of does like air quotes on that one.
I'm gonna look at Lorius. Lorius and Boreas, same name, different first letter.
It's,
I'm gonna,
for him, it's Boreas with an A towards the end of his name. For Loris, it's Lorius with a U.
I'm gonna those like our names are so similar. I'm gonna look at Lorius and ask him if that's true. Is there a druid council in the Fae that judges people when they interfere with human relations?
Looks at you and says, "Well, yes, there is. In fact, I believe you may have run into one of them already. Uh,
Oh yeah.
One that was around the temple that the Metro was using as her base. In fact,
Yeah, it's Circus.
it's thanks to him that well, I got some indications to exit out the forest in the first place. Kirkus, I believe that's his name. Yes, correct, Mr. Metius.
Lorius, how would we get about get Boreas to this council?
Well, it's not really a council. It's a circle. It's a group of druids that uh, made it their mission to protect the old woods from anything that would damage the natural world. But they also preside over other matters that, at the moment, are a little bit beyond me. Um, I'm not sure exactly how to get to them. They just seem to have a knack for appearing around segments of the old woods. Uh, I'm not sure how they would punish the actions that Boreas has taken. Uh, he kind of seems to be doing this kind of motion with his hands, in as if he's a little bit anxious or nervous at the moment. Uh, he does like a meek shrug and says, "I'm sorry, I've never directly dealt with all of the members of that circle."
Ooh, ooh. Wait a second. Oh, I'm brilliant sometimes. Okay, one second. So, okay. I used my channel divinity and gave back a third level spell slot,
Okay,
and I used sending.
hold on. Does channel ability allow you to gain back any spell slot, or does it have a limit?
It says of my proficiency bonus rounded up. My proficiency bonus is 3, so I could do level 3 or 4 spell if I had 4 spell spots.
Okay.
Okay.
So I gave back a third level spell slot and instantly use it using sending. And the council member that we were just talking about, the one that we met that one time, I sent him a message.
Kirkus the druid.
Yeah, Kirkus.
Kirkus,
That
hold on, let me actually bring him out on the map. So you guys can see his art and remember who he is.
Decurcus.
and I sent him a message. How do I say his name one more time?
Hercus.
Heracus.
Hercules.
So what is the message?
Whew, Cassie needs to think. Heracus, we have a thing.
Business.
Well, again, I don't know
That
why you guys keep calling it a council. It's a it's a circle of druids. Think more a uh, like a neighborhood watch. I can't more akin to a neighborhood watch rather than an organized political council. Uh, so
Hold
while
on, Cassie is making a 25-word long sentence.
okay,
Sorry.
while Alexandria is is busy getting the dial-up signal for the sending. Uh,
we leave now. What we're still doing here?
the rest of you guys doing anything? Actually, hold on. You swiped the harp, so let me show you. Well, actually, no, I'm not gonna show you nothing just yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Derek, you have the harp in your hands. You you saw Boreas cast spells through it, but it didn't seem like the spells were coming from the harp. So far, the only spells you saw him perform seem to have been channeled through him himself. You're not sure if the harp itself is anything special or if it does anything. In fact, roll me a D100.
D what?
D100.
It explodes.
All right. That is what a 15. Let me double check this. You notice a couple of the strings seem to have come out of tune, so to speak. Kind of going a little bit slack. But otherwise, the harp seems to still serve, to still be usable.
I got it. I start practicing with the harp.
Anybody else doing anything while casting some of the message?
I mean, I don't know if I should. I'm just debating on whether we should let him go or not. I'm not doing anything.
Questioning. We need to question him for more information on this harp.
Well, I mean, you can ask him, but I don't think he's gonna answer you since you stole
What
it from
is
him.
what is the name of this place that we are currently
Village shoe,
standing
buddy.
in?
You don't know the name. It's just a glade that is somewhere nearby the vineyards of Mitros. So what were you saying, Derek?
I like to ask Boris about the harp.
So now you ask after you took it off my hand, huh?
Yes.
Well, all right. If that's how it is, then the harp, well, it has some magic of its own. You can use it to cast some spells that come from the harp itself, and not just through you. Nothing too crazy, but perhaps you can think of something with those.
Hmm. All right. All right. Colors of the harp.
Uh, just kind of at first glance, it seems like sort of like uh, how do I call this? Kind of like dirty blonde, coloration almost like dirty gold almost. Upon closer inspection, seems to have a couple of intricate carvings around the opposite extremes of the harp. Like the
Okay.
point where it actually ends. That seem to resemble kind of like swirls akin to that of the pictures of wind. Uh, there is a small sort of like art towards the bottom of it. That small because it can only fit so much in the frame of the harp, but it seems to depict some kind of like clouds, perhaps with some precipitation coming from them. Uh,
Oh boy.
and at the bottom of those clouds, there is what looks like various different sort of like animal silhouettes.
All
What's
right.
this symbol right here of a cloud? Where'd you get this from, Boris?
Carved into the harp, by the way. It's part of the harp.
That's cloud thing. Where looks Poseidon-ish.
But, Sandra,
Very sus.
you were gonna say something?
Yep, I did. Okay. So after she's done scribbling out like several messages on paper to find the correct verbiage to use, when we first ran into him, he was speaking Sylvan, correct?
Correct. Well, no.
All right, so
No. He spoke common.
he did speak Common. Okay, was it the Dryad that was with him that was speaking Sylvan?
No. Hercus was on his own. He was a squirrel actually until you
I threw a rock at him.
until Dragger threw a rock.
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember. Okay,
Wall shape.
so like Kirkus, Boris has plotted to overthrow Mitros. We apprehended him. Please come collect him for judgment. If not, King will. Location Mitros Goliath. Exandri. Thanks.
Get a message back saying, I know of him. It's good to hear of you again, by the way. Sure, I will be on my way. That Boreas, up to no good, I see. That's it.
Okay, guys, he's on his way. But I don't know how long that'll take.
Kind of looking at you. And like Boreas is still kind of looking at you, raising an eyebrow, and he said, "Look, like I said, they're probably just gonna slap me on the wrist a little bit. They're gonna reprimand me for whatever it is I did. Uh, I guess that means I won't be causing any more disturbances around here. You can count on it. I guess I'll just have to think of another way of carving out a piece of the world for myself."
And if you can think of a way to do that without causing mayhem or strife or hurting others, why is he walking away, bro?
Oh,
Get back here.
Back here, buddy. Get back here.
Sit down at the edge of the pond.
Chuck.
Yeah, he's just gonna sit down at the edge of the pond, seemingly waiting.
Okay. if you can think of a way to do that without causing strife or mischief or mayhem or destruction for other races, then we would be able to support you. But as long as you're talking about harming or overthrowing or causing
up queen?
chaos,
Isn't up a queen?
then we would have to put an end to it.
He kind of at this point is kind of sat down at the edge of the pond. Has like one of his arms supporting his head, his knuckles resting against his chin. And he says, "I'll see what I can do." Hopefully, I'll find something that I can truly call my own, one way or another. But yeah, sure, I won't cause any more harm here.
Can I insight check that?
Yeah, me too. I don't trust him.
You can go ahead.
The great power of Valorius.
Again, he seems legitimate. You're not sure if that's because he's again still charmed, or if because he actually means it.
Could we offer an oath, or Xander, could she offer an oath to Boreas as long as he promises not to, cause like disruptions amongst the cities in the world and go about finding his own way?
Uh,
She would give him.
I was gonna stop you right there because that's too vague of a of a condition for
Well, it's because Cassie doesn't know how to word it.
like where's the general gist? You just want him to not
The general justice where he just doesn't harm. There's so many races that like I just don't understand what to call things.
like
Species, I don't know.
it's a bit too vague of an oath to just not harm anything. Then how if he wants to eat meat, how does he how does he do that? Can he hurt animals? But like, or if he's attacked, does he have to defend himself? It's like
No, not like that, but more like it's because I'm like I don't know what we call ourselves on this like plane of existence.
I mean, the general term is just the mortal races. That's
Right.
this is what they're called.
I'm too old.
Because I know they're Fae. Like, the fuck are we? I mean, like, even half of us in this party are Fae, so it's just.
Well, no.
I'm an older one.
Yeah, only Derek and Loris are Fae, technically.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could just say mortal races. We could protect Glorious.
Sir Shush Rockman. Or Rockman.
Right, let me think.
I'm gonna say
Galio.
again.
Cassie just doesn't understand how to word it.
For the purposes of time, like I don't believe
Words are hard.
I don't believe you can like word this oath in such a way that it would be like feasible for him to accept it.
Okay.
Because it's too broad of a subject.
Well, I just don't want him to try and overthrow any existing.
Settlements.
Yeah.
Boris, please act like a civil mortal, not try to overthrow anybody. Please go live your life, and eventually you'll find your calling, either be wine in the wine industry or anything else. But please, just don't think about putting
You're one to
people out.
talk.
That's the condition.
It's my destiny.
All right, so
Yeah.
to put it in simple terms, that's the condition of him not harming anybody. What does he get in return out of the oath?
Freedom. American way.
In return, he could obtain assistance from us. Or from me specifically, because I'm not going to loop anybody else into it if I don't want to.
Send him to your dad. That.
I thought about it, to be honest, but then you guys brought up the circle, so I was like, okay, we'll call him instead.
I would say still send to your dad. Your dad would love more wine.
So, in return,
I'll be drunk every day.
In return for him not overthrowing any settlements or cities, you're effectively doing more or less an oath of service to him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have to know because oaths are very important in Thylea, so I have to know if this
Oath of service, what would that be exactly?
or oath of protection. My bad. That's what it is. Oath of service just entails you pledging your allegiance or services or otherwise assistance to an individual or group.
Would an oath of peace be like, as long as he's like not overthrowing any settlements, that we won't interfere?
Well, that's less of a note, it's more of a truth.
Contract that they had going on, was that kind of
What was that?
I couldn't understand most of that, Porunga.
the contract that they had going on with the wine, where they cultivate the land or whatever? Is that kind of like an oath, or was that just an agreement kind of deal?
According to Boreas, that was a note that was made by people who are more like no longer alive.
Oh, okay.
No, not mine. No oath then, because I don't know how I'm gonna word it. That's fine.
Like to for future reference, do kind of you guys can look back into the player's guide that I sent you at the start of the campaign and reread the Laws of Tylea segment to see how oaths generally work.
Should we?
But otherwise, Boreas is just gonna wait there. Is just gonna sit there. The water elemental seems to be slowly regaining shape as like more water from the pond keeps flowing into it.
Should we just wait here until they, what's his face, takes him in or whatever?
Well, I don't know how fast
Or
the
should we?
Garen can travel.
Yeah, true. Or I don't know. I don't know. I just don't trust him. I feel like he's gonna turn on us, even though we haven't really inflicted. I don't
I mean,
know. I mean, should we just like make like a truce saying if he tries anything funny, we'll just murk him, and then if he doesn't do anything, then we'll leave him alone.
I'm not sure if. I'm not
I
sure
don't
if
think
his
that
own
would really
death
be a
is
good
like
idea though.
something you can
But
swear to.
what were you saying, Metius?
I mean,
I'm
I
not.
don't think we. I don't know if we have to get a.
He said Metius.
Oh,
Metius, what
Yes,
was
okay.
it?
I don't think his own death is something that he could or would willingly swear to.
well, I mean, I don't think we need to make like an oath for it, but I don't know.
The fact that we are trying to put a guarantee on this proves that none of us believe he's trustworthy, and therefore, I still think he should be taken to trial.
I don't, unfortunately.
Then you should implicitly trust him then, and let him go off to do whatever he wants. But the guarantee that you want from him, I think, means that you don't really trust him.
I don't trust him, but turning him into your king is just going to end up with his death. I don't see him kidnapping children and sacrificing them like Glorious and.
Oh, hold on.
Huh?
Like Trellis and Septia, you mean?
Oh yeah, sorry. I meant Trellis and Septia. I said Glorious because I read his name on the middle of the screen. My bad. You like Glorious?
You what? You monster!
No, I meant Trellis and Septia.
I don't think the extremes of one evil simply outweigh whatever this person has done. But if we must let him go, then the oath should simply be one of protection. That he swears to abide by these laws, and we will swear to make sure that he is defended as best we can in case he is unjustly sought after.
I don't know if we can really do like an oath of protection because I don't think we can like protect him for or defend him forever, especially if we're not. I don't know.
I'm okay with no oath. We're turning him into the council of his people. They'll know of what he tried to do.
Alright.
His kind could judge him and see fit to punish him how they would.
So, are you guys sticking around, or are you guys just leaving him here to wait it out?
Should we have one person stay back and then the rest go?
Derek.
Or
She'll pull Derek to the side.
Wow.
Over here.
Yeet.
Derek, don't you have like a spell in your arsenal where you could suggest him to stay here until Hercus gets here to escort him to the circle or wherever?
I could suggest him to do that.
Could you?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It ruffled my feathers a bit by not believing me as a great dragon lord. Madge.
I go over here and I
Hold
have my fist ready. You do it
I
or
don't
I'm
never.
Drakgar,
kidding. I'm kidding.
Drakgar, you weren't called upon. You were you.
Dare you get out of
I
here.
know.
Yeah,
I
now
know.
over here whispering with Mr. Cringelord.
Said.
All right, all right. I'll suggest him to do something other than
Oh,
not
so I'm just
be a
gonna
bad
AFK for
guy.
2 seconds. I'll be right back.
All right.
All right, it's
Just suggest that he sit here and wait to be escorted by Turkus to the circle.
why not us suggest him just take a big fat drink and just him be wasted being here? About that?
That's
He's
not
just
exactly
passed
what I
out.
said.
Okay, we'll tell Dragar to bring all the drums.
So what is the what is?
I don't know. I'm absolutely bewildered at what
All right,
Pumo
so I
heard
walk
versus
over
what
here.
he said.
Must wait. Okay, I'm gonna. Where are my spells out again? I need to read this out again. Where is it? Let me see. Minimize. Okay. I walk up and Boris say, "Hey, Boris, my suggestion here is you should just probably stay here and wait for the guards to pick you up. Now, you know, you have a bunch of wine still. If that's really just yours, just start drinking. You know. I know it's not it wasn't a good day, but you know what? Just enjoy the rest of the day right now, man.
He
Yeah.
looks at you and says, "You know what? I am feeling a little bit hurt. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but yeah, I'll stick around here, I guess."
Dragar, go bring us some of those wine barrels over there. Come on. Just let them just enjoy the rest of the day. Metius, Porunga, go help him too. The closest.
Dragon isn't here at the moment. He's still listening though. I mean, I'll say,
That's it.
unless you guys are taking back some of these wine barrels with you, whichever ones.
Those are no.
Whichever.
Those are his.
Okay. In that case, he's just sitting here, drinking wine. The water elemental is still chilling in the back.
Does Elemental want wine?
What do I say?
Does the water Elemental want some wine?
No, it seems to just be kind of wandering around the pond, sinking in and out of the of the water, presumably still sort of like amassing its shape again to heal up.
What I thought during a fight is you would use that fireball to evaporate the whole lake. So if the elemental was hurt, it had nothing else to recover from. That was just me.
But yeah.
Isn't the
Hmm?
wait? Isn't it partly frozen though? The water
It,
or a little like cold.
no, I believe it passed the save against the frostbite. So like, oh no, you mean the lake? I mean the pond.
A pond, yes.
Yes, part of the surface is still ice that is yet to fully dissolve. But yeah. So I'll ask once again. You guys stick around, or do you guys go?
Do we know that uh
It.
he's gonna stay here?
I mean, he seems to be performing the activity that the suggestion spell has imposed on him.
It's concentration up to 8 hours. We have to be here for 8 hours though.
Well, no. You don't. When you're concentrating on the spell, unless the spell indicates that you have to be within a certain range of it, you
It's 30 feet.
just have concentration for it until the timer runs out.
Okay, so we'll be here for 8 hours.
Well,
Well, no.
I guess if it's safe,
This means what that range means is that you can target a creature within 30 feet to be the target of the suggestion. That doesn't mean you have to stay within 30 feet of the creature for the suggestion to fully take hold. So, meaning, as long as you don't take damage or otherwise fall unconscious or fall asleep for the next 8 hours, he'll continue doing the activity until it has been completed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I guess if that's the case, we'll probably just bail then.
All right. If everybody's in agreement of walking away from here, then you will do so. You walk out of the Feyglade, back onto the vineyards of Mitros proper. And what time is it? We'll take this chance to take
About
our quick break. Let's say 10 minutes, and we will be back in order to continue.
all right, sounds good.
Oh, I realize I haven't switched to the other screen. All right, there we go. All right, I will pause the recording. Oh, there we go. All right, so we're back. You guys have exit out the Feyglade. You're now currently in the vineyards of Mitros. Where do you guys go from here?
Well,
Time to swindle some cash, guys. Come on.
should we check on um
We took care of two of the quests side quests we need to do, right? The bandit
No,
and
Yeah.
the witch.
lies. Nope, we're not doing that. What we're doing
I
is
mean, not
swindling the rich
all-
person.
Well,
we still
So
need
we need to do the Lady of Coins and talk to the Neuro Dragon.
so just to clarify,
Nergon.
Nerd dragon.
to
Got it.
clarify, from the side quests, quote unquote, that you guys have gathered here in Mitros, you had the locate missing people, locate missing supplies.
But we located the missing people.
Yes, correct. I'm saying that which ones you had that you have knocked out, which are those. You still have the whole thing about the Lady of Coins, but you're not 100% on how to find her. But
Juno.
you have heard that Tayran Nurdagon has campaigned against her for quite some time now.
Swindle the rich guy. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I think
told
the only
you.
side quest we have now, because we did the missing people, we did the missing supplies. So now we have Mr. Nerdagon, the Minotaur Market, and the Lady of Coins.
Well,
And the Chimera.
the Minotaur Market itself isn't exactly a side quest, but you know.
That was for
That ties
Juno.
into- I think that kind of ties into the Lady of Coins stuff.
Could be, but
Maybe.
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
we're all banking on that she just owns the Minotaur Market with no context.
mind you,
And she also kind of might have some, I don't know.
She rich as fuck somehow, so I mean it makes sense.
So should we go ahead and talk to the Nerdagon guy?
Nerd
What
dragon.
day is
Got
it?
it. It's nerd dragon, sir. Get it right.
currently
It was
it's currently getting to the afternoon right now because you guys have been doing quite a bit of stuff over the day. You've
because when we left the church, it was about noon to 1, and then we took a short break. Then we came here and dealt with this. So afternoon, okay.
yeah. So I'll probably somewhere in the like 3 p.m. 4 p.m. Margin there.
Like a little bit before dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we also have we want to pay attention to when the whatever that fighting thing is that starts.
The games.
Yeah, the games, whatever that starts, we want to.
Olympics.
Oh yeah, we were gonna ask Matt about that and when he knows it usually takes place.
And didn't we
Okay.
run into a guy? We ran into like a monk or someone that was part of that. Remember earlier?
You guys are having to prepare for them.
Oh yeah, prepare for it. Yeah.
I mean, you, as far as you can tell, the Great Games are not to be started until a couple of days from now. I'll say, while I never gave a specific margin of time here, I will say, just to give you like the knowledge, you believe the way that people were talking about them is still a couple of days away. Probably by the time you get the ultras and return, like you might still be able to make it to the.
All right, then we were gonna ask Matt if he wanted to visit the academy, and then we also talked about possibly looking into how much it would cost to hire a ship to go after a chimera.
Yep, that sounds about right to me.
I feel like we're missing one.
Nope, that's
Uh,
it. Nerd Dragon. Just swindle Nerd Dragon.
Oh, and we have to get him to fall in love and marry somebody.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't get laid. I knew it.
get who?
Huh?
Where?
of course, that's the only thing freaking Pumo remembers.
Excuse me. That's what his
That's the
ancestor
only
said. He is
question
a
he's looking
virgin
forward
and
to.
must get laid and have BBs.
Specifically, the way that Adonis worded the request was that the latest descendant, hopefully find him someone to be a match with.
So we
Uh,
don't know.
Get laid easy. I was right the whole time.
so
Who
we
knew?
gotta. So
But we don't know if
it,
he's the latest one though. Uma.
so I guess we could go to Nerdagon. We could ask him about his
Lineage.
lineage, and it sounds like the easiest one to start with would be to matchmake for him and try and get into his favor through matchmaking for him.
Riz up the girls. Got it.
Because if we succeed, it would be like two birds, one stone. Because Adonis would be able to finally pass on to the afterlife, and we would probably gain favor through Nerdagon to where we could start really laying into him about possible questions for the Lady of Coin.
And money.
I say we're
Some
pretty
money.
girl.
Guys, we need funding. Okay, we need funding to save this world. We need funding.
So you guys travel into the city of Mitchel once again. Uh, go across a couple, various districts until you reach the mercantile district, which is where you've been told, Tayran near the god makes his home at. I believe, last time when you asked around, you were told which of the estates is his. I think, uh, unless I'm
Biggest one.
unless I'm
There's
making that
no
up.
one to the south of that market.
Unless I'm making that up. So hold on. You guys would, yeah, I believe you were told actually. And even if you weren't, asking around, anybody around here who's anyone knows Theron Nurdigard and where he is at. You'll be pointed to a rather fancy-looking estate towards the southern segment of the noble district of Mitros. There is you know, a complete for those who may have forgotten, this is a complete contrast of all of the other housings from Mitros. Around this part, every building is lavish, and if it's not, it's either very intricately designed. Bathhouses, inns, there's even a bank somewhere. They're all sort of like very purposely uh, done with such architecture that represents their status as important in one way or another. Uh, you will see that upon arriving at the actual place where you were told, the state of the Nurdagon family. Uh, Even from the outside, there's, as you can tell, that the area covers quite a bit of terrain. With walls, pretty tall walls that cover the perimeter of it. Through gates and the like, you would be able to tell that there's almost like a layered property where it's like an exterior wall and then another structure inside surrounded by a wall in and of itself. In either case, both of these entrances are uh, being watched over by these armed individuals that don't exactly look uh, like city guards. It seems more that these are more akin to like private security, so to speak. Uh, it'd be, yeah, this one, number 11 on the map. Uh, I know the numbers are a little bit immersion breaking, but trust me, this is for you guys to keep in track which locations are which. Uh, so uh, you guys arrive at the front and are immediately met by these two like armored individuals, kind of look at you as you approach, put up a hand, almost as if indicating halt. Uh, the guards say, "Halt! What business do you have with Lord Nurdigon?"
Step up and said, I have official Dragonlord business with Nerdagon.
Oh god.
Kind of they look at each other. I wasn't aware that Lord Nurdigon associated himself with the King's new guard.
We are not with the Dragon Lord.
We are not with the Dragonlords. We are the Dawnbringers. We are
Tippy,
the ones who helped rid the Titan of the city a few days ago.
welcome as well.
Ah, right. The ones that dispelled the foul weather with the assist of the gods. Well, that is all good and all. But again, what business do you have with Lord Nurdigon?
We have a message from one of his ancestors.
They look a little bit confused.
Oh my gosh.
I hold up my cleric symbol and I'll be like, um, it's more of a Cassie's brain went blank.
This is still Dragonlord business though.
No.
It's not Dragonlord.
What do you
Literally,
mean?
Pumo, out of game, you're literally pissing me off. Stop calling us Dragonlords. Every time we
I'm
get
not
to a
calling
new
you
group.
guys. It's the official Dragonlord of the first.
No,
Okay, I
it's
should probably
not.
phrase it better
We're
though.
not
Yes, it is.
Dragonlords, bro.
I
That's
am.
not our group name. But every time we meet new people, you introduce us as Dragonlord business.
All right. So,
This is though. What
so
the freak?
you say them to the guards.
I can't say anything.
Listen, if you don't have a valid reason, I don't believe we can allow you to meet Mr. Nerdigan. He's a very busy man.
Hmm.
Is this not for the matchmaking thing that you were just talking about?
We got
Oh, we're at the
multiple things,
entrance.
but I don't know how to explain to the guards that we're trying to set him up with a chick so his ancestor could move on to the afterlife.
Yes, that is official of the
No, it's
first
not.
order of the Dragon.
No, it's not.
Oh my god.
The guards are kind of like staring at you, raising an eyebrow.
We visited Necropolis recently, about a week and a half ago, to pay our respects to some family members who had fallen in the past, and in doing so, stumbled upon what's his name, Pumo?
Sorry, Derek forgets.
Those Nerdagon's
I can't
like
say nothing right now.
ancestors.
What you were saying, Porunga?
We stumbled upon his ancestors, and we were sent here from him.
They they are all kind of again. They seem to not quite follow along.
Doesn't
Cassie can't remember what his ancestor's name is.
care.
And
Was it
Pumo says
Adonis?
Apostala.
Yeah, that's right. That was Adonis Nurdigan.
Adonis, yeah. And we stumbled upon his ancestor, Adonis Nerdagon. He wanted us to pass on some information and to check on his well-being,
Aha.
so he may transcend to the afterlife.
I see. These two individuals are like you can tell they, you know, it's still kind of confusing for them. Uh, They kind of look at each other and they kind of lean into each other and begin to whisper among themselves.
Whoops.
No, well, I mean,
He did. We do have his sword, which is on Derek.
Can we,
We
Derek, can you show the sword?
he
Maybe that was true.
he has left the call.
He did. He rage quit because he wants us to be called the dragon whatever.
Uh,
So he always talks first and bring it up, but it's low key pissing me off.
all right. I mean, do you have anything else that you believe you can show to prove your claims? I guess. This is not me asking as the guards. This is me asking as a DM.
Could we just have Derek's character pull out the sword?
If that's something that he would do, uh, it would show the weapon and the the guards would inspect it and notice that is indeed branded with the family crest of the Nerdigons. And their previously heavily confused reaction is suddenly changed to one of genuine interest, curiosity. There's still a little bit of confusion there, and you see one of the the guard kind of hands back the sword, and the other one says, "I shall tell Lord Nurdigon of your presence here. Wait for a moment." He kind of opens the gate towards the, I guess, inner courtyard of sorts, and he sort of walks all the way to, you see him walk all the way to the actual main estate. Takes a couple of minutes, but eventually he does kind of come back and does kind of like a signal to the other guard, who then nods and fully opens the gate for you guys and says, "I believe that Mr. Nerdigon will meet you in a moment." Uh, do you guys step inside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll follow.
Yeah.
You guys step inside, and you are welcomed by the sight of, like I said, like a very lavish property. Has very intricately sort of designed gardens with various flowers from some of them you are not even sure you've ever seen. You are walked all the way to the front door of the mansion, I guess, for lack of a better term. Uh, and the guards kind of open the front, the front door into what appears to be the main foyer. In fact, I'm just gonna move you to the next map.
Ooh, new map.
Uh,
What?
you guys can't see nothing at the moment, can you?
Nope.
All right. In that
It's
case,
the only darkness.
yeah. In that case, give me one moment.
It's rare that we get a new map. I'm excited.
I mean, hey, oh shit, I was accidentally darkening instead of revealing. Rotany does this often. One more. Whoosh. I'm just gonna reveal the whole first floor of the mansion.
It's a new map.
Oh, cool.
So,
Uh,
and also, I guess I'll probably.
Wait, did we even get a map? Oh, we did get a map for the castle.
In that case, let me
Yeah.
change the uh little ambience music. Uh, skip. There we go. All right. So, as you guys walk inside this little foyer area towards the front, which is around, well, this side, being, oh, there we go. Yeah, the screen should move for everybody. You guys can place yourselves down on the map.
At the front door where you just pinged.
Yeah, the front door is basically opened by one of the guards here, one of the heavy armor guards that you see here on the map. The as they all kind of open the front door, you will see coming down from the upper floor, from one of the stairs, a figure adorned in rather fancy attire. It matches the general, look of the, of Mytrosian clothes, I suppose. But there's this noticeable adornments in segments like around the shoulders, the waist, where kind of this purple coloration seems to be taking hold, as well as a rather almost laurel-like head ornament adorning the head of a somewhat older-looking gentleman. Uh, you can't exactly tell the approximate age of this individual, but they appear to be, not quite in the twilight years yet. Uh, this is how that individual looks like. Uh, the
Is this Nerdagon?
Well, you're not quite sure as the individual walks down the stairs, eventually reaching the bottom of the stairs, landing himself in the foyer proper. He looks at you guys with eyes that more or less let you know right away. He's judging you, or at the very least trying to seize you up. He looks at you guys and says, I was told that a weapon belonging to one of my ancestors was handed over at the front door. If you wish to talk to me, you could have used multiple ways of approach. I
We
believe
could have used what?
multiple forms of approach.
Oh.
I believe I am the man you wish to see. I suppose introductions are in order. I am Siren Nirdagon, and as you probably already know, a descendant of the Dragonlord Adonis Nerdagon. But while I've heard stories about all of you, I've yet to properly personally meet you. He kind of like a gesture with his hand, almost as if prompting you all to introduce yourselves.
My name's Porunga. Nice to meet you.
Uh, my name is Exandri. This here, she'll put her hand on her brother's shoulder. This is my brother Drak.
And then I flex.
I roll my eyes
That's fucking awesome.
and politely punch him in the arm.
And Metius bows and introduces himself as well.
I see. Well, you certainly, as far as appearances are concerned, you certainly make quite an impact already. Well, so I'm not certain that you walked all the way here just to deliver a family heirloom. I detect there's something else you wish to discuss.
Um, a couple things actually.
Well, now's as good a time as any. I am a busy man, so I will ask you to make this quick.
She kind of looks around at where they're standing.
The guard did, after ushering all of you in, he did close the door behind you guys.
Okay.
Well, we got a couple things to speak to you about. Um, one of them being your ancestor, Nicodronus Nerdagon, who's
Adonis, you mean?
Yeah.
Adonis. Sorry, Adonis. My bad. Adonis Nerdagon, who is resting up in Necropolis. Um, the second would be and I kind of look around. Is like anybody like listening to our conversation?
I mean, you like see like a couple of the I guess the servants, the walking around the mansion grounds. But they don't like stick around to listen in. They just kind of seem to be going, about their business.
Um, the second would be about the Lady of Coin.
I see. You know, in any other situation, if somebody comes to my doorstep and claims to have made contact with a long dead ancestor, it would be branded as madmen. But considering that you have brought some tangible proof, I suppose it sounds feasible enough. This,
Just like a general knowledge question.
go ahead.
Do people not like do people not believe in restless spirits and ghosts and stuff like that generally?
Undead do exist, and ghosts do exist, and people are aware of them. It's just as well. You're not quite certain what is going through Nerdigon's mind at the moment,
Right.
but it's almost as if the claim of we made contact with the Adonis Nerdigon is something that is news to him that nobody seems to have been able to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Uh, he kind of looks at you guys and says, "All right, these are two different subjects of conversation. Which one was the one that you wish to discuss first?"
Um,
Well, I'll tell you right now, as you probably heard, considering you brought up the subject. I do have a stake in dealing with the Lady of Coins.
uh, those do seem to be the whispers we've heard around town, which has led us to want to confront you about her. Um,
Confront is
but
a bit of a strong word, but sure,
um,
continue.
but first, I think it would just be beneficial if we would start with your ancestor,
All right. So
as
what does the great Adonis Nerdigon wish of me?
um, well, I guess oddly in a way, uh, your happiness, in the form of finding you a loved one that you could proudly continue your lineage with.
Raises an eyebrow. Well, I regret to
Dirty guns and
I regret to inform you that you may not be
I'm gay. No, just joking.
that you're at least 21 years already too late. I already have a son.
Oh,
Oh.
oh. Well, then I guess this quest would be for your son.
For Sula? Alright. You probably don't know the young man, but he is a hopeless romantic. I'm certain he'll find some, well, some woman out there that is of a respectable family eventually. Once he's
Hopeless romantic, you say?
Oh my
We got
god, no.
we got somebody right here who's dealt with that with 100%.
No.
in that case, then
Shut up, Dragar.
you understand what my son is going through. He is
Yes.
currently, for the last couple of weeks, he's been attempting to court a certain individual, but I keep telling him that his efforts are for naught, and yet he refuses to listen.
Well, maybe assist Azula in his quest?
It's just Sula, not Azula. Uh,
Oh, Sula.
I'm just gonna type out the name.
Thank you.
Sula. The Z would have been nice.
Assist him? I feel that's a fool's errand.
Don't worry.
If anything,
Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to help him learn some tricks of the trade, and maybe we'll be able to help him get the girl of his dreams. And in return, it would also help
I
Adronis
I don't
finally move on.
I don't believe you understand. It would be far more beneficial if you were to just convince him to give up on his current interest.
Why is that? Who is he going for?
He looks at you with like this expression of like oh shit, they don't know. It says, well, the reason why I say it's an impossible conquest for him is because the person he's trying to court is Queen Valus herself.
Oh.
Hey,
My
I'm not
aunt?
touching that. Sorry, I'm not touching that. Sorry, guys. Not touching that. That's
Good
in the
luck.
family. That's in the family. You get it.
My
Taran, ask
auntie?
these two. Ask these two. I'm out. I'm out. I'm backing up. Any food over here, guys? Any food over here? I'm backing up over here.
You want to
How
be your
old is your
uncle?
son?
He kind of looks over at one of these servants that are passing by, snaps his fingers, calls him over, and says, please, organize some refreshments for the guests. The servant kind of nods at once, sir. And he moves off.
Ain't no way you bro just doing that.
And
Metius
what
will kind
makes
of like wave like quickly wave down at the servant, nod and say wine, and paying attention.
He
we could too?
nods and just is on his way out.
Um, my aunt? That is, man.
He's shooting very high.
How old is your son's 21?
Still has a life ahead of him, but as I keep telling him, but the
What?
man
What?
refuses to listen. It's as if he's entranced by the idea of the queen's eternal beauty.
Oh,
Huh.
so he's only into my auntie because of her eternal beauty.
I'm not sure. You see, I sometimes struggle to understand what goes through my own son's head at times.
I clasped Derek on the back.
Sounds like you
I'm
guys got a
sorry, it
lot of.
looks like your friend is just gonna stay a ghosty forever.
He's
I'm over here eating. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
young, impulsive, foolish. He would do better to just focus on attempting something else.
Well, maybe if we could meet him and see what makes him so attractive to my auntie, then maybe we could help find someone he could actually end up with.
If you can do that, it would be an immense help. Preferably one that is of a respectable family.
Of course. We'll be sure if we do find someone who might be up for the task, we'll be sure to run their family name past you just to make sure there's no like family beef or whatever.
Eventually, the servant comes back with with drinks for everybody.
Uncle Sula, I glare at Porunga.
The servant promptly leaves, and Nirdigon continues saying, Well, I suppose that is one matter that you can deal with. Now on to the second one. You claim to be after the Lady of Coins, correct?
Yeah. There's is there a place we could set for this long long conversation?
My study upstairs would probably be better. He kind of turns around, begins to walk up the stairs.
Oh, hey Adonis. Oh, no, Adonis. Oh my gosh, you look. Oh my god, you look such like your great ancestor. Oh my god.
They do look a bit similar.
I'm like, I make him like, hey, while we walk upstairs, hey, try this on real quick, and I pass him the crown.
Oh my god.
Before you hand over anything, he just kind of
Doesn't he hate the Dragonlords?
says,
Just
"What is this?"
Ignore him. He's
shush, Drakgar. Does not concern you, buddy.
It's what is
He's obsessed with the past.
what is this crown that you're handing over to me?
This is the crown that your ancestor once wore back in when we first got here in this land. I just want to see, and hopefully you would feel something of your descendants.
All right.
Of your wear it for a little bit. Maybe you make you feel something. Who knows?
Showing up here with the sword that belonged to my ancestor is one thing. Showing up with a crown that belonged to him now makes me think you looted his grave.
He's my best buddy. What do you mean? He got more girls than me. Come on.
Oh my
Still
God.
makes fun of me with that. Come on.
It's actually true. We did watch the ghost of your ancestor have a competition with our friend Derek here on who we'll say was more charming.
Right.
Derek lost.
He
Shush.
did.
it wasn't
Shush,
even a
Matteo.
competition.
Right.
It was
What do you mean? It
pretty
was
great.
It was 5. He got 5. I had 3 pretty much every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And this crown kind of holds onto it, begins to look at it from side to side. You say it belonged to him? Am I to understand you're handing this over to me, or?
I just want you to wear it. Technically, we all wore the similar one together.
Oh my god.
Sometimes forgot whose is who. Technically, I don't know who gave this to, who this is, but our
Right.
Xander gave me this crown. So
There were legends of Sander Huanrath donning a, well, a form of crown on his head in order to communicate with his Mount of Almitria. If this is in any way close to what the stories say, then this is quite the important treasure of the Dragonlords of old.
yes, but as a descendant of a dear friend Adonis, I just want you to wear it. You know, maybe you'll feel something, like I said before.
Word of
A
advice.
little bit.
Word of advice.
He's gonna get us killed.
Avoid showing this to the king and his own Dragonlords.
They saw us within their hands. I know what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
See,
Yeah.
well,
Me and Sandra had it in our hands. We walked in the room.
if anything,
Not forget that.
if anything, that matches the stories about your boldness.
Yes, very much. Stupid or not, it is bold.
Right.
That's one way to put it.
Well, in that case, he kind of turns her around so that he has the correct side facing the correct side of his head. Just kind of puts it on. For those who need a reminder how the item actually looks, it's kind of like this sort of like golden band that in itself is covered in this rows of metallic coloration, silver, gold, bronze, kind of like in equal patterns, with the front of the crown being shaped in a way that kind of resembles a kind of like a roaring dragon, not like protruding forward, but rather made up so that it's kind of like more a bas relief almost in the frontal segment of the crown.
Oh, cool.
Uh, so he kind of like puts it on. Well, first he removes a sort of like laurel, like sort of like head adornment that he has, and like puts on the crown. And he looks at it, and he just kind of gestures, flags down one of these servants to bring him a mirror, and eventually they do. He leans into it and
The dorm is so good.
looks at it. I suppose it's not a bad look, but a bit outdated for my tastes.
You look just like your great ancestor. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man.
Well, the
Compliment Drakgar. Shut up.
Nordigan bloodline, if anything, we are often praised for our relatively handsome looks. He kind of
Drakgar, shut up.
hands the crown back to you, and then continues his way up the stairs.
All right, let's go.
As you notice, the map is pretty fucking big, so that's because it has the 2 floors of the mansion. So hold on. You guys can tell he will. Oh, I have two. I forgot I had 2 tokens of him.
Whee!
You guys can tell. He leads you into this rather well adorned, like almost office-like room. Where he. Oh, I realized. Oh, did I move him here? There we go. It's kind of like office-like room that is adorned with imagery. Seems to resemble that of well, sort of like the old days of Dylea. You see sort of like art depictions of battles between centaurs and other humanoid-looking figures. There is what appears to be some form of artistry in the shape of draconic figures. However, they are, there's only like a few of them in comparison to the rest of them. More so than anything, the room is, I guess the feng shui of the room is made to evoke a sense of calm, of calmness for those who are here. I realized the recording.
Walk up to that picture of draconic figures and look at it.
There we go. The recording screen is not showing the token of Tyrion that I had here. So, he kind of sits down behind his desk and says, "Well, by all means, tell me what you wish to discuss about the Lady of Coins."
All right. So, are we to be correct in assuming that you do not like nor get along with the Lady of Coins?
She has been a constant thorn in the sides of not just me, but I dare say most of the nobility in Mitros. It is not easy to hear from the streets that yet another statue appeared in the middle. A statue that, in case I'm not being obvious with my tone of voice, used to be a person. And it hurts more so when said person was a valuable member of the community.
So they were petrified.
Yeah.
We just healed somebody of similar lately. There was a lady down in Sturgeon Row who was petrified, but fortunately we got to her in time to mend the petrification and question her.
I see. Well, what have you garnered?
Um, can I ask first, how exactly is the Lady of Coins a thorn in the side of somebody who has such high standing due to the market?
Well, she fancies herself a a folk hero of sorts. You know, the kind that often are depicted in stories. They who rob the rich, give to the poor. A facade, and a well-crafted one at that, I'll give her that. She is mostly spoken of within the confines of Stygian Row. She, however, if you were to ask anybody else outside of her, you would hear stories of someone who attacks those who try to make an honest profit, stealing what is otherwise a reward of hard work. I didn't got here where I am entirely because of the name of my family. I would call myself a businessman if you would allow me the humble brag.
Kind of business.
Of all kinds, really. Well, an investor of sorts, you may call me. I have my hand in almost all businesses that are, well, regulated within the great agora of Mitros, and beyond it as well.
Well, so you happen. I know a lot about business.
Mm-hmm.
I do not doubt you do. You have to have come so far through some degree of mental fortitude.
Of course, I'm still sane apparently after 500 years of being nearly drowned in a bowl of water.
Well, sounds harrowing, if I say so. See, because of this, of the Lady of Coins targeting all the businesses in Mitros, it makes me suffer the most. Like I said, I have a hand in almost all of them, and any loss of profit on their behalf is a loss of profit on my behalf as well. In case I haven't explained it already and you haven't found that out, the Lady of Coins is a Medusa, as horrible as they come, if I believe the stories. Petrified.
What was that? Your mic cut out.
He's saying that the Lady of Coins is indeed a Medusa, as you may have already discerned.
Perfect. So I can add yes to that. Good to know.
Got it off with her head.
Petrifies
So
anyone who crosses her, or so they say.
okay, well, um, so far, one of the main reasons why we are looking for her is because of the lady that we actually unpetrified the other day down at Sturgeon Row. Her name was Her name was Lydia. And after we unpetrified her, we learned that she was currently trying to flee the city. That she had borrowed thousands upon thousands of gold coins from the Lady of Coin a couple years ago. And she was told by the Lady of Coins that she would need to perform a duty for her to get out of payment or debt. And that favor that she was meant to do for the Lady of Coin had to do with going up into the mountains and let me make sure Cassie gets her story straight. And in doing so, convincing someone who looks very much like they could be related to my brother here, Drak, into descending the mountain with her, in which, upon meeting the bottom, the Lady of Coin had some people procure this woman, and not Lydia, but the one she was escorting down the mountain. And although we are not positive, we have a little bit of worry that it might actually be Drak's mom.
Ah, Stone Lady.
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that we can add kidnapping to the charges of crime for this Lady of Coins.
And although we don't know why, um, they went to the lengths of obtaining her, or if it even is his mother. But that is one of our top issues as to why we want to find the Lady of Coins and see if we can identify if the one that she took was in fact his mother.
Well, I dare even suggest the possibility that if this is a person of interest, she may have perhaps smuggled her somewhere else. Would be a horrible twist of fate, but, well, considering that we are discussing a most foul individual, adding, well, this type of smuggling of individuals may not be entirely out of the question. I'm afraid I cannot help you in that particular case. I do not know this Lydia individual that you speak of, and and a debt of thousands of gold sounds very unlikely. Not even the Bank of Mitros makes that big of a loan.
That's something that we found very odd when she was telling us her story. I was using magic to put up a zone of truth so that way we would be better be able to tell if Lydia was lying to us. And as from what I can recall, she was being quite honest when she was stating that she owes thousands of gold, which to me seemed very, very odd because she was like in tattered clothes and reeked and looked like she's been sleeping in a pig stall in the slums. And for someone who has racked up a debt of thousands of gold coins, wouldn't you have bettered your life?
Unless we are dealing with quite a we are dealing with quite a cunning individual here, the Lady of Coins, of course. Perhaps she used some form of a
Payday loan.
interest, extortion fees, so to speak, making the woman believe that she had actually racked up that much debt after not repaying it for so long. I mean, that's what
I
I'm.
mean, it could be because I also felt a little doubtful, even though Lydia did seem like she was telling the truth. But I myself felt a little doubtful because how would someone come across that much gold to lend to a nobody living down in the slums at that?
I've heard of cutthroat behavior before, but this goes beyond that. All the more reason why she has to be stopped to this Lady of Coins. Well, it seems you've garnered quite a bit of information yourselves already. Have you perhaps find out where her base of operations is at?
Um, no, we were maybe wondering if you could help us get in contact with her or know of what we could do
If
to where we could have a run in with her.
if I could make contact with her, I wouldn't be having this conversation. I would be having her head staked into a spear.
Well, if we're thinking that the person that she took was related to me, maybe we could go at night and have me go alone and you guys hide in the back just in case something happens.
Go where? Like I said,
It's around the city, in the slums, or sorry, the Sturgeon Row.
seems a bit of a wild goose chase. I'll tell you
Okay.
what. From what I have been able to gather through my efforts against her, it seems that she is behind a thieves' guild of sorts. They refer to it as the Cult of the Snake. A bit egotistical, if you ask me.
Did you say snake or steak?
Uh,
Snake.
Cult of the Snake.
Okay. Cult of.
A bit narcissistic, if you ask me, considering she is indeed a Medusa. But, well, if she carries as much weight around as I believe she does since the Euro, perhaps approaching from that angle might be beneficial. I'll tell you this. We cannot trust the local guards. They are incompetent at best, blind at worst. This is why I rely only on those who I've personally hired. Speaking of which, consider yourselves hired.
Ooh.
If you bring me the Lady of Coin's head, I shall pay you all from my own personal treasury.
I guess we should go ahead and be honest and upfront. Our group is not so much into the business of killing people.
Have
I mean, if it comes down to it and there's no other way around it, of course we'll defend ourselves and take the lives of other. But if there are other means as to acquiring them without taking their lives, we usually try to go about that route. I'm just being honest with you up front, as we literally just got into another predicament for the same reason with somebody else.
he kind of leans over the desk. Uh, this really serious expression like coming over on his face. He says, "You missed the part where I said that she has been attacking friends as well as people who make an honest living. How would you
Uh,
feel if somebody you knew and were a friend with suddenly wandered up like a statue that you couldn't unpetrify, or even worse, missing, like your brother's mother here? Tell me, is that a person capable of such heinous actions? Is that really
um,
the person you wish?"
it sounds like someone who does need to take uh, the necessary means for their actions. That is very true, but I don't know if we would have the authority to make such actions on behalf of something happening in Mitros. I mean, like I said, if it comes down to it, of course we're going to defend ourselves. We're going to defend innocent people, but there's always two sides to every story, and we'll do our best. I'll definitely tell you we'll do our best. We're definitely going to make sure she stops turning people to stone, 100%.
5,000.
I doubt that's a
Did he just go up the price?
Specifically for her death.
I mean, that's a lot of guilt.
Oh wait, guys, we forgot. We forgot to ask somebody here most like what he wants to do. But he's not here though. So sad.
I
What Juno do?
want her gone. By any means.
You want her gone. We understand that. We also need answers, and we're going to do our best to find all said answers, but I just want you to be aware that our group are not openly murderers. We're not like murderers for hire. Now, if we do happen to kill her, we will bring her back to show it to you. But if I'm just being honest with you, if that doesn't happen, I mean, I'm not going to promise you something if we just don't do it. But if it happens, we'll definitely bring her head back so you could see it. That's no problem.
Oh, I think my buddy Juno would carry that head bravely. Bravely.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to make sure that you are aware that that might not always, or that might not become the outcome. If it is, we'll definitely bring it back and we will collect payment and give you her head.
He
But
kind of takes a hand his forehead and kind of. You can tell in his expression that he's trying to rationalize what he's hearing. Uh,
Excited.
Uh,
He could feel the blood.
and he says,
Dragonlord blood is running.
"You know, I've been often told that those who engage in a particular line of work, like you all do, how do you call them, adventurers, often all have a price. I guess I have been lied to.
What? We often what?
Have a price.
No price.
Um, our group's price is based on our integrity.
Is that
Small.
Not so much
Small.
money.
that integrity worth, say, 7,000?
7,000.
Malo to 10,000 gold.
I mean,
We
I
are
know you
not
keep going up
common
in price, but
mercenaries.
sir, I'm just being honest with you.
10.
If we kill her, we will bring her back.
10,000.
Deal. Shake that hand. Let's go.
But if we do not kill her, I just don't want to get your hopes up. But I can, without a doubt, promise you that we are going to make sure an end is put to her turning people to stone. Also, why haven't you guys had healers here just casting greater restoration to heal everybody being petrified?
Oh,
Is there no clergies here? Like, what is going on?
definitely do. But trust me, spell components, their expense stacks up after a while. That is, assuming we even find the petrified individual in the first place.
You could bring him
Okay,
here. We see
fair.
him every day.
Fair. Well then, without a doubt, can I have a list of everybody you know of who is missing? So, in case we do run into her, we could make sure we find and locate their bodies so we can at least bring them back for their loved ones and so forth.
I can give you 3. The more recent individuals that have gone missing.
Well, you could go ahead and give it a little bit of thought. We'll definitely take the 3, but if you have any more, do please let us know.
He kinda
And just remember, if we bring you her head, that was 7,000 gold.
You
10,000.
bumped it up to 10.
Not saying that we are going to bring you her head, but just saying if we do, it was 7,000.
10,000.
he said 10,000 final offer.
Oh,
Yeah.
10,000. Oh, 10,000.
And if we bring her here, you can cut her head off. Maybe 11,000. Maybe
Shut up, Derek.
Shut up,
Mm.
Drake.
Good guy, Derek.
Dragonlord.
He just kind
Good guy.
of side eyes.
Shush.
He just kind of side eyes you. But
Hey,
He's
you
a
got
little
that
bit
blood in
morally
you.
conflicted on what side of this he is on. Do please excuse him.
I am old. Shush.
I will give you the names of the 3 most recent individuals that have gone missing, presumably taken by the Lady of Coins.
In the ship, blow her up.
One of them is a well-known bard around these parts, often present in most of the fancy events where the nobility frequent. Sholos, I believe that's his name.
Solos, got it.
It is that's how you pronounce it. This is how you spell it.
Okay. I was about to ask.
That is not how I
Cholos.
spell it.
That's how you spell the Spanish dog for
Keep
Chihuahua.
in mind these are like based on Greek names.
Almost.
They have a very specific pronunciation. The
Cholos.
other one, a poet, a very fresh face, graduated from the academy. Sila, I believe that's her name.
Silas, got it.
Do I know them?
Make me a history check.
Nat
It's
20
the-
this bitch.
It's a female
Okay.
Silas. What?
15.
15. You recall an elven woman who, by the time you were getting out of the academy for due to reasons, she was
Join us.
probably going towards like her last semester in the Academy of Mitros.
Okay.
The term market betting.
She was more of the like Theron just said, a poet. So she was more into the fine arts, And the last one, a musician, gnome known as Gondros.
No.
He,
Do I know the musician?
this one I will say you can also make me a history check.
Sure.
This
14.
14. You believe you've heard of this man? He wasn't like a member of the academy by any means. He was like a self-taught bard that often wandered throughout the entire city. At the very least, well, not really quite a bard, a composer, as Satyr said. More of a storyteller, if anything. You don't really recall having heard that many great things about him. Uh, for whatever reason, if David's theory is correct, and he was taken by the Lady of Coins, you can't really imagine why. Uh,
Just to double check, when these three names are given to us, I'm gonna pull out the log of sacrifices from the Church of Lutheria that I stole out of my brother's backpack, and I'm gonna open it up and search for these three names just in case.
they are not there. I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
Good.
Taran says, whatever the Lady of Coins would want with a group of artists, well, I do not know. But if it is true and they are currently in her clutches, then perhaps it could require the assistance.
It kind of, honestly, knowing that she might be trying to procure people with special talents, I guess we could continue to use Derek as bait, and
That's what I was gonna say.
we could have you perform outside of a tavern, the tavern specifically that we are staying at every night, and I'll dance for you and dance and sing while you play. Maybe with luck, we'll draw the eyes of her.
Apologies for bursting your bubble, but I do not believe they will attack in such a place in broad daylight.
The slums got
I
it.
don't think she'll attack us, but I think it would put us on her radar.
Perhaps that
More
could work.
Ow, my foot.
He kind of looks outside. One of the servants kind of knocks on the door. Says, "Go ahead." The servant kind of comes up to the doorway and says, "Sir Taran, it is time." Right, of course. He kind of gets up from the chair and says, "If you'll excuse me, I have some business to attend to. I'm afraid we're going to have to cut this meeting short."
Question, Taryn. Where is your son?
Yeah, may we speak to him?
Maybe I give some pointers, maybe to not, try to
Go for
become
brown?
Zandria's and Dragar's uncle.
It is still
No.
it is still not fully nighttime now, so I would imagine he's currently still attempting to court Queen Valor.
Jeez.
A whole sentence.
Got it. Arcalander, Nerd Dragons. Oh my. Just like back in the
Try
days.
looking in the Temple of the Five. I hear Queen Valus often frequents it, and Sula, by proxy, will as well.
Oh my gosh. God damn. Let's go visit your aunts. Come on.
And do tell him to please come back home as soon as possible and stop with his games of his.
Plot twist. What if my aunt's into him, guys?
Oh God, no.
Sausage. Cougar sausage.
She very well could be. She's not into her husband.
She's definitely not into
Sausage.
the king.
Sausage. Cradle robber.
I don't know what sausage means.
Basically suspicious. That's what.
Oh,
Like suspicious look. Like
what a strange thing to say.
It's the Pepe emote with the suspicious look.
Before you guys
I
leave,
don't know about any of that
before
stuff.
you guys leave the mansion, Taran will say right before he heads up to one of the other side rooms, with the servant. He says, before you depart, I leave you with one final warning. A couple of weeks ago, during one of the Lady of Coins' more recent hits, so to speak, she managed to, procure or free, I suppose, a couple of the Minotaurs from the Minotaur market. I believe if she's
Good thing Juno's not here.
as cunning as I believe she is, she may have even recruited them to her side. Expect great opposition if you are to find her.
Damn.
No worries.
And kinda,
So happy Juno's not here.
he gestures one of the servants to like escort you guys outside. And when you guys make it outside and are like walking out the courtyard, like followed by yeah,
Dragonlord, I have a question. I'm sorry. I know you're walking away.
fucking go ahead.
Do you own the Minotaur market? Do you trade Minotaurs
What an
personally?
question.
Urge.
It's an eyebrow and says,
Mm,
I
you know.
have investments, like I said, in every market in Mitros.
Yes, I remember that part.
Juno
Specifically,
cracks
how
hands.
much are you invested into the Minotaur market?
For what reason do you wish?
Well, you brought it up that she just stole some Minotaurs, and you are offering quite a bit of money for her head. I just want to know how invested you are in what she stole.
Well, I suppose as much as any other merchant who has their hands in investments around the city.
You say that, but you're the only one we've ever heard whispers of.
Well, not to brag, but there's very few people in Mitros as important as myself.
Right. You right.
Okay.
I give it to him at there.
So is that a yes, a no? You just have investments in it?
I have investments in it. I don't
Okay.
own it. The
Okay.
one who owns it is a man known as Maximilian.
And where can we find
Okay.
Maximilian by chance?
Juno, you know what you didn't do.
Around the Minotaur market, or in his
Oh.
property. I believe that he lives not too far away the from the Minotaur market itself.
Alright, so he lives close to the Minotaur market. And what does he
Right.
look like so we know when we see him?
Juno, take notes.
I mean, a corpulent fellow,
He's fat. Got it.
somewhat tall, not as tall as your friend here, looking at Drakgar. But still,
Is he fatter than him?
despite his relative position of privilege due to the resources he's amassed due to the market, he, from what I've heard, used to be quite the adept gladiator back in the day.
Oh, okay.
How does one. Wait, how does he even. Never mind. We'll ask him.
Now, I bid you farewell. And as you guys walk out of the mansion, I'll ask everyone's passive perception.
17.
17, 12.
13. Am I counting Juno's too, or are we saying he's not here?
Juno's gonna kick some ass.
I feel like if you know,
Oh, his is the same, if that counts.
Juno would not be here because this would be a whole different conversation.
Juno's like, who do I punch?
anybody,
Who do I?
so anybody with a passive of, I'll say 15 and above, would be able to tell that when you're like coming out of the, through the main courtyard, you begin to kind of look around, and the guards, kind of like the private security, quote unquote, that you see walking around and patrolling the outside perimeter of the property of Taylor and Erdogan, seem to be donning. How should I say this? A certain piece of their gear catches your eye.
Okay.
It's almost like not quite like a poncho. What's the term for this piece of cloth that I'm thinking of? I guess like a scarf, like a slightly oversized scarf that kind of goes under some of their shoulder pads and drapes a little bit over their chest and their backs. that is a particular coloration that catches your eye. For it is a bright blue coloration. Uh,
Oh. Uh,
What the actual?
I'm the only one that's seen it though.
yeah.
yeah. Unless you call it attention to this to your allies.
So sorry, Cassie doesn't understand why everybody just had a reaction. Was this an episode that I wasn't here?
Well, you, Exandri, the character, would know that the blue coloration on Centurion armor is a telltale indication of the Order of Siren.
The Order of Pythor?
The
Sidon.
Item. A bad guy, quote unquote.
Oh, so the ones who work with Gaius?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're just patrolling around this building?
They seem to be part of like the quote unquote private security that Terran is keeping around.
I I whisper to the group and let them know that Nerdagon guards patrolling his property look like they work for the same church that worships Sidon.
I say, are you
Yay.
shitting me? Eric's in disbelief right now. What the actual piece of?
So, um,
That is.
As with that revelation, and you guys
No.
and you guys walking away from the Nerdigon estate, that is where we'll end the session for today.
Derek would say that Derek would say Arcalander's kid now, and now Adonis's kid. Are you shitting me? He's so pissed.
I told you guys there might be a very huge possibility that we actually will behead the Lady of Coins. There's always two sides to the story, and some of the things that he said about her just kind of struck me as a little odd. Saying that she only takes coins from those who are rich of the city and tries to distribute them to the poor people.
Like a
Although there's
Robin
a bunch of shifty shit that needs to be addressed for sure.
She also sounds kind of shady.
She's the real Robin
Shut up.
Hood.
From the.
Shut up, Dragar.
To be more specific,
You know
he said-
nothing.
to be more specific, he said that's the narrative that is sometimes shared about her, but he believes that she's really just attacking people who do an honest living. So
Oh,
Quote
she
unquote,
definitely
the
has stuff to answer for.
head must be beheaded.
I don't know.
So, oh yeah, I forgot to end the recording. So
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
that's that for the session. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube, please continue watching. Next session, the party is either gonna do one of two things. They're gonna take a fucking rest, or
Sleep.
Rest is for the weak.
or
True.
or they're gonna take this time now that it's getting closer to nighttime to once again delve into the city underbelly of Mitros in an attempt to get some more clues on the Lady of Coins. But with that, that'll be the end of this. And those of you who are watching, continue doing so. And we'll see you all next session.
Small loan of a 10,000 gold.
Uh,
Yay.